Okay, all right. Keep going. But yeah, no. You can make Finch can make it. I mean, assuming you
Oh,
can't see through
fuck.
like the.
I'm always bad at those.
I'll say, Lady A, you can make a deception check at disadvantage to see if you can convince Finch.
Disadvantage, and she is not great. Oh god.
Oh yeah, no,
Ha!
no.
Oh,
All right,
Blink, I'll listen.
Well, I'll
Fuck him.
post
continue.
it.
Lady
wait,
A.
is this deception Lady A's pretending not to remember?
You
Is
don't
that
know.
what that is?
You don't know. Maybe you don't know. You have no idea.
Does Finch? Is Lady A lying? Is Lady A pretending?
I would assume Finch does not believe her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll leave that to Finch's interpretation if Lady A is lying or just is just like seriously, like has like horrible memory. But yeah, I'll say that you know that Lady A does not remember the conversation at all. Or if Lady A does, then like it's not like I guess does Lady A remember the conversation like for real?
She remembers the conversation. She just doesn't remember what Finch said.
Okay, all right, then there you go.
Fucking-
That's what you
She
know.
remembers they talked. She doesn't remember.
That's what you know. Continue.
Agatha.
Yes.
First of all, fuck
Yes.
you. Second of
I
all,
mean,
you
not
are.
now, obviously. We are
Oh,
surrounded
no.
by
Don't
others.
twist this. You are a champion of Zyma, are you not?
I am.
And you stand here lying to me.
I do not lie. You see, though I was listening, I do not remember precisely your words. Perhaps some of the others could refresh my memory, if you will not. Yuri, do you remember? Hideo! What about you, little one?
Can we just say Helio's there eating something while looking back and forth?
Um, Yori is laying on the bed. One arm is behind his head. One arm is over his eyes. And he's actually smiling. The more Vesper goes on her little rant, the more he kind of smiles and almost chuckles to himself. And he kind of lets this whole thing go on. And then you say his name and he sort of sort of gets up a little bit, scratches the back of his neck, and almost drops Helio because I think you were sitting like on my chest. Sorry.
Probably.
Crumbs. I like scoop up the crumbs in my big old hands and I'm holding them out. Tuck him back into his little pocket. And I kind of sit up and look at everybody in the room. I look at who do I look at first? I look at Vesper first, and I say, I wasn't really born into anything. I've already decided to die for you. I have already
Never
died for
asked you
you.
to.
You didn't ask to be born into it. He sort of puts his hands up and doesn't look in your eyes, and he goes, I'm not arguing with you. I'm agreeing with you. And he looks at Lady Agatha. He looks at Finch. We do not walk with Lady Zyma. We walk with you, and you're going to get us killed. I'm very tired. And he just lays back down.
Oh, at least we can agree on that.
So where are we going?
I say we go to Golden Fields. That takes more precedence right now because it's on a time crunch. The dragon can wait. We don't need the hammer just yet.
All right.
And then Lady Agatha's gonna step towards Vesper, waiting for her to move out of the way of the door.
I'm sorry to call you all into this, but we really need to have some sort of peace between all of us. There's way too many personalities in this room. And this is not a game to me. None of this is. So if any of you want to just laugh this off, want to just smile about it, like it's something to just put off, then you don't need to be here tomorrow morning.
Vesper, some of us are not afraid of our destinies.
I know not all of you are.
Yori wants to know if that's directed at him.
Is he asking?
No, that was my inside checks. I'm still laying on the bed.
No, I didn't see the
Do I
answer.
have any idea if that was directed at me or not? If I kind of
not
peeked
at
my eye
all.
over.
She
No,
was-
at
No,
sorry, at Vesper.
no,
Okay.
it was mine, and I'm not gonna hide it. Yes, it was.
Fair enough.
And if some of you don't realize this, yes, we fight, we argue. We've only known each other for just, what, over a week, almost 2 weeks now? So there will be more fighting. There will be more arguing. I'm sure of that. But just because we've just met each other doesn't mean there's nothing that I hate about any of you. I just want there to be some sort of coherence to whatever this is. And at least we don't kill each other before all of this realm merging and giant fighting takes over Faerun. That's the only reason why I asked you to come in here. And I'm sorry for waking you. But again, I do not want us going to bed angry at each other. I never grew up with siblings. So this is my first time really working with people. And I'm trying my hardest for us to get along in some sort of capacity. So I just hope tomorrow morning, when we all wake up, if we're all determined to continue on with this and we all decide to stay, we at least have some sort of understanding now that we've spoken to each other about this. You two, Lady Agatha and Finch, you've known each other before. We met. Yuri and Helio knew each other. I don't know any of you. And there are already prejudices against me because of who I am. So I just want to make things clear. That's why I asked you to be here tonight. So you can walk through this door, go back to your beds, and sleep. But just know I'm trying my damnedest to make this work. Because that is what I do. So you can go if you want. You can stay if you want. But it's late, and we need to head to Golden Fields early in the morning. If we're going to make it there, it's going to take us a while.
For what it's worth, where you go, I'll go. This is clearly important to you, and though it is important to me, I can see that this is definitely more involved in your life. If you need help with this, you will have mine.
Thank you.
Vesper, perhaps you should consider. You need us far more than we need you. And she will walk out.
I'll talk to her later, I promise.
I hope it helped at least a little bit.
Well, the best way to start a conversation is to speak. Only one way to find out.
Was it like this before?
Oh yeah, all the time. We'll be over it. If she lives. Are you doing okay?
You know, so much has happened within these last couple of weeks than ever in my time in Faerun. It's all very confusing. And what it all means, I don't know just yet. But I know it's going to lead to something. Like I mentioned before, from everyone I knew growing up, they always told me I was destined for something great. And I believe this is it. I don't know what else to think. But I don't want this to happen with squabbling and arguments and people not liking each other.
I can't say we will like each other, though I assume we will, but I can say with great confidence there will be fights. Whatever destiny is in store for you, for all of us, it's either going to hit us harder than we expect and we'll die, or it'll be a long road getting there. And we'll have to deal with each other in the meantime, which, oh, that'll be fun.
Like I said, I didn't grow up with siblings. And I know you and Lady Agatha aren't. But from what I see, you guys are close in some capacity. And if this is how it is, well, I guess that's just going to be something that we're going to have to learn.
Then she'll put her hand just kind of gently on Vesper's shoulder and give a little squeeze before heading back to her room.
Oh, Yori's sleeping in here now because I've been laying here for the past 10 minutes and I'm half asleep. So, this is where I'm at. He was so openly listening to that conversation that just happened. He had his head turned towards you and was just staring at you both.
I will say really quick that as you sort of exit the room, Finch, you look down and you see Vethier. She's stacked up some firewood and is kind of like peeking over it every once in a while, and like you can see her like ears kind of twitch a little bit as she's like trying her hardest to listen. But then when she notices you, she goes back. She like looks down really quickly and like continues like pointing at each one as though she's counting the firewood, as if that's something someone does. And then when she notices that you're not looking at her, she'll immediately kind of like continue to try to listen in.
Do I get a sense that she's heard what she's heard what we've been saying, or that she just doesn't know? She's only heard murmurs.
You could make me an insight check to determine how much she's heard.
I need to stop making these. I'm so bad at them. Why did I not take? Oh, I do have proficiency with it too.
Wow,
that's another 10.
Perfect 10. I'll say that like, I mean like, even if you, I mean you realize that like, even if she did hear, she doesn't know you guys all that well, you know. So like, a lot of that was fairly personal. So like, she wouldn't super get it, you know. Like she's kind of more just like, you can kind of see she's like, you know, she's an innkeeper. She just kind of wants like drama, gossip, kind of like, ooh, I wonder what's going on, you know. She only could hear bits and pieces.
I'm gonna give her a little wink if we do like make eye contact and just like slightly message her under my breath very gently like a whisper. I know you might not get groups that like this kind of thing, but hey, you're welcome to join the next time. And then immediately go into the room.
She'll like kind of like jump, very surprised, and kind of like when you do this, she'll immediately like duck her head behind the firewood, and you'll still see her kind of like gloved hand is still like attempting to make some kind of facade of counting the firewood again, as if that's something anyone does, but no, she definitely she's kind of just like at this point just kind of like randomly moving her hand around.
Finch is also going to spend a good chunk of the next morning just mildly insinuating that they're having orgies just to mess with this
God.
woman.
Okay.
Before I leave the room, since Yuri's pretty much passed out on this bed, is Helio still like visible?
He's just probably
Also
sitting
half
on
asleep.
top of- No, he's awake. He's eating. He just has nothing to really say. He's just sitting there, probably cross-legged on Yuri's chest.
At this point, when you're the one left in the room, he actually kind of smiles at you a little bit and then turns away and puts his head towards the wall and kind of rolls over a little bit like he's going to go to sleep.
I'm gonna leave the room, and when I get in the hallway, I'm gonna whisper a message to Helio and just say, "You're his best friend. He'll listen to you." And then I'm gonna go to bed.
Will Helio just stare back at you until he can't see you anymore?
All right.
Long rest?
Yes, long rest, but give me a couple.
Yeah, spell slots.
Little bit of time to sort some things out. Behind the scenes.
Yeah, I'll want to check in with Naka. What do you think of all of this?
Okay, so I'm gonna need an out-of-character moment for a moment.
Okay.
I don't think Helio is... I as a player don't want to disregard anything that's going on, but I don't think Helio actually grasps, like, all of your guys' seriousness. I don't think he's connected to it, and he's just here. Like, he's waiting for his chance to go back home. And then, but at the same time, he still doesn't want to leave Yuri, but, like, that's really all he's focusing on, so I don't know how to portray that without
I'll post it
coming
in,
across as I'm disregarding everything that's going on. I hope that's okay.
Say whatever you're gonna say about, like, in character, and I'll have
You got this.
Well, that's
Yuri
the thing.
react.
He doesn't really have anything to say at all.
Okay.
He's just sitting there listening and watching what everybody... He is observing how everybody else is reacting.
Okay. I think Yuri just puts his hand on his chest near you so you can kind of like put your cracker crumbs on his thumb or whatever as a little table. And he's still kind of curled up against the wall and he's breathless and sort of talking to himself as he goes to sleep. And he seems to express that he doesn't understand why Vesper is mad at him because for the first time he actually feels like they're starting to be on the same page. And he's pretty sure she hates him. So he expresses that. He's just talking to himself, falling asleep, waking up, talking to you. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Lady
Helio.
Agatha's crazy. Say that at least 3 or 4 times. Think she's gonna get us killed.
Helio says will probably respond that he thinks that Lady Agatha's fun. He's entertained by her antics. And
Yes. Yes, and everyone is very entertained by your antics. If we stay with this group, we're probably going to die with this group. And I'm okay with that. I just want to make sure that you understand.
Helio will pat you on the hand or whatever and be like, I won't let you die.
Okay, well, I don't want you to die either, so don't do that, because you keep trying to do that, and it stresses me out.
I'm not gonna die either.
Okay, can you clean those crumbs up before you go to bed? Because it's like making my hand itch a little bit.
He'll just prestidigitation them away.
Thank you. Okay.
Right?
Oh boy.
I'm not gonna die. Goes inside a burning dragon. Okay.
Man, all I'll say is
That's the most recent thing you did.
Will
There
Lady
was like
Agatha
3
kill you?
things before that too, so just go to bed. Just go to bed. Roll over.
Man, I think that the line that's going to age super well
You
here
go
in
to bed.
hindsight is Lady Agatha's going to get us killed. I just want to add to that, or will she? And then the Vsauce music, we'll see how that goes. But anyways...
It really is surprising Helio is alive. But I'm actually thinking of it. Went into a dragon.
Fucking same.
Like, straight into it. Went into a dragon.
Same.
Instigated a fight with the
Stressor in my
dragon.
life. Fantasy or personal.
Actually hasn't done that many deadly things besides fucking with a dragon.
It's okay. He's a problem. Let's just be honest. Helio's a problem.
All right. Is there anything else we would like to do really quick before something else happens? All right. I hear no takers. So, I will say that all of you guys get a long rest. You guys all kind of drift off into a nice sleep. And
Everyone's muted.
Yeah. Or are we taking a break? Did I miss something?
Shoot, I was muted. I was saying words. Oh
No,
no!
the GM.
Oh, saying words the whole time.
Oh,
I didn't.
no.
Oh god. All right. Anyways, anywho. All right. Good. Great. Anywho, I don't know when I was muted, so I don't even know what you guys heard. Great. Awesome.
You were muted
Nothing.
that entire time.
We heard nothing.
Rats. Oh, I muted myself to stop, like, sniffling into my microphone, and like blowing my nose, whatever. I'll spare you guys. All right. So, the only thing I wanted to say really quick was, I wanted to make it a little funny, and it was that the line that I think will age super well at some point is Lady Agatha's gonna get us all killed, and then I just want the Vsauce thing added to it, or will she? And then I just want to go from there. But we'll see how that goes. Anyways.
Excited to find out.
Yeah, I will say that you all, once you guys are done, you guys all get a nice long rest, and the beds are just as comfy and just as warm as they were, last time you guys were here. But I do need to know very specifically, this is very specific, where is Helio sleeping? Is Helio sleeping on top of Yuri, or on the dresser over here? This table, barrel thing, any other bed. Where's Helio sleeping?
Let's say that for now, Helio went from on top of Yuri to sleeping on the pillow next to him.
Okay, all right.
Here.
Good to know. Okay.
Probably facing towards the door, if I'm facing towards the wall.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I will
Okay.
say I have to put in some ambiance. Some ambiance.
Oh,
Ambiance.
Yeah, the ambiance.
I
Ooh.
love the ambiance. We've been sans ambiance this entire session so far, and we cannot be sans ambiance. Give me a minute, I promise. This one's weird. I like it. We'll use that.
Oh yeah.
Hold it. No, I don't want to. No, stop.
Groovy giving you problems?
What?
Is that a cackling witch?
That's what it sounded like.
Yeah, that's what, if you search YouTube for 4 asterisks, I guess it comes up with a cackling witch. Anywho.
Wait. That's actually funny.
There we go. Alright. Awesome. Okay, so, in the dead of the night, I will say,
We are having a fiesta.
I
We'll dance until siesta. The sun. Sorry, I'm sorry. It's a
anyways, okay, that's what I thought, but I had never, maybe I've heard the song, I don't know. It sounded familiar, but then I couldn't. Alright, but, so, in the middle of the night, you will, Yuri, you will be awoken by the sound of your door kind of creaking open, like a slight, like just a titch. You'll kind of like, you'll just kind of hear like the creak of the old wood a little bit.
Okay.
And you will see a pair of yellow eyes kind of peeking in, kind of like looking in and trying to see, like, I guess not a pair because Vethier has an eye patch, but you will see one yellow eye kind of like peeking in, like trying to like discern what's going on inside. And she doesn't seem like she's noticed you, but you know it's Vethier.
Hey. I guess I roll over towards the door, but I pretend to be asleep.
Okay. She will, like, once she kind of like discerns, like, she'll convince herself that you guys are all asleep, and she will like open the door and she'll kind of like leave it open and she'll come in and she'll like tap you on the shoulder, and she'll say like, Yuri, wake up.
I'll sit up before she gets close enough to touch me. Like, but right before she reaches out, I'll sit up and just be like, I'm awake.
She'll
What's going on?
She'll kind of like grab your hand and she'll say like, come with me. You have to see the sky.
I feel like I would scoop up Helio instinctually with one hand, and then I guess just be pull it out the door.
Well, the second that she sees you kind of reaching for Helio, she'll kind of like maybe like use her other hand to kind of like not block you, but kind of like put your hand back to your side, and she'll say like, you don't have to bring him. Come on.
God, this
I think I get pulled off the door. I mean, that's up to Helio if they come with me or not. I'm getting yanked out the door. I don't know. I don't know how to say no to this.
Helio.
But I just look desperately at Helio.
Helio is asleep on the pillow.
Oh fuck! I get
My
drug out of the
console
room.
is not high enough for this. I'm sorry.
Okay. So yeah, Vethier will like she's got like, you know, she's very, very muscular.
Cool.
She's very strongly built. Like, and she kind of surprises you with how like easily she's able to like, you're kind of tired, you know, and you're kind of like slumping a little bit. You're not entirely like ready to get out of bed.
I'm not surprised. I'm into it.
And and you're kind of just like, you know, you're kind of like, you know, kind of like still like kind of like half asleep, but she is like full, like not sprint but full like power walking, taking you by the hand out towards the front door of the inn. I have to zoom out because this map is big. And she will take you over across this little street to this rock over here. And she will prop you up on it.
Oh boy.
And she'll like, you know, she'll pull you out, and like in the moonlight, she's like beautiful to you, at least in a way that's like really difficult to describe. She's like, as like, it's like, you know, orcs have a very different sense of like beauty than like, you know, like everyone else does, and she's like very very like, you know, beautiful, very pleasant to the eye, but she looks at you with like a look of confusion, and she says, "Look at that, what is that?" And she points up to the sky.
Insight check? Do I look? I'm so terrified.
You don't have
For
to look.
so many reasons.
You don't have to look. You don't have to.
I don't. Do I look? That's up to you, DM. What does that get me?
With the 10 insight, I mean, I'll say that you have enough. I'll say that you have the willpower to resist, should you want to. Like, you don't have to look, but I mean, like, she's just pointing at the night sky. You don't know how like dangerous it could be.
Is she still holding my hand?
Yes.
I'm standing on a rock. She pushed me on a rock?
You guys are sitting on a rock currently.
Okay. I'll just sort of pull my hands away and put them on my legs and look at... I won't look up. I'll just, like, look at her curiously. What are you doing? What's going on?
She'll, like kind of, like, get, like, a little bit more urgent. And she'll say, like, "Look at the sky! What is that?"
Okay, look at the fucking sky.
She, like, so you'll kind of, like, follow her pointing for a second, but it doesn't take very long before you see a massive light in the sky. And it sort of looks like a rip, like somebody had, like, torn, like, a hole, like, in the night, like, in the inky blackness of the night sky. As if the realm itself had sort of been torn apart. And it's so, like, profound and so massive in its scale, that its brightness and its sheer, like, weird, like, coloration kind of, like, matches the moon. And it, like, you know, the moon is, like, almost full, so it's, like, very bright. And she kind of, like, looks at you, and she's like, "What on earth is that? Do you have any idea?"
I don't know. Do I?
You could make, I guess, a history check to see if you remember anything about this. No.
I know a lot about this, actually. So... And I'll just ramble for 5 minutes.
She will listen and will, regardless of what you say, even if you think it sounds completely bonkers, she will 100% buy every single word. And, like, you can tell she's, like, actively trying to take mental notes for every single thing you say. Like, if you say, like, "Oh, this is, like, some, you know, in like, the elven culture, this is some kind of, you know, symbol of a great feast or something." She'll, like, eat it up. Soak this all in.
I know Dwarvish, so I say every Dwarvish word I know.
Okay, awesome. She will thoroughly buy your explanation that this is the signaling of some great dwarven holiday or something that takes place maybe like once every 100 years or something. She'll 100% buy that explanation and will kind of like lie down, and she'll say, like, "Well, I'm glad that it's nothing bad. I just was curious, and I mean, of all people to know, surely it would be you. I mean, you're strong and you've adventured, and I mean, I can only imagine what it's like to live the life you live."
I don't feel like he didn't think he was doing a very convincing job, so he almost feels bad that she believed him. It's okay. Sometimes it's very, very stressful. I feel like I've almost died a bunch. So, but we're, you know, and I'll just kind of like look at her and shrug. We're tough.
She'll kind of like look at you with a like a look of like a smile, but then she'll kind of like go back to more neutral expression, and she'll point at your tusk, and she'll say, like, "I don't mean to intrude or anything, but what happened?"
Does she point at the tusk I still have, or the one that I'm missing?
The one that you're missing.
Well, I was at a tavern one time, and I was drinking, and I took it out, and I left it on the bar, and I forgot it. So I just, just sort of shrug. I just lost it somewhere.
She'll like laugh a little bit, but she'll like look more seriously, and she'll say like what, seriously though, what happened? I need to know. Like, I guess I don't need to, but I'm curious, and she'll kind of like gesture to her own like tusks, and she'll kind of like she won't say anything, but she'll kind of like the look on her face is like, these are important, like you don't like, the tusks are like really important to like
he
us.
Starts looking visibly uncomfortable. He's kind of like scratching at the back of his neck and head and tugging at the scars against his head over his missing tusk, and he's well, there are tribes of our kind that go out and hunt pointed ears, and there's elven tribes that go out and I tap my missing tusk.
She'll
these things. So
the second you kind of like look uncomfortable, she'll like listen to that explanation and like will like nod along. But then the second like you're done, she'll like kind of like put her hand over your hand again and kind of just like shush you a little bit, and she'll be like, you don't need to worry, and she'll say like, well, regardless of what happened, and regardless of what happens to you in the future, you'll always be safe here. I'm not the most capable fighter, but I can keep you safe. You and your friends, you can stay here.
I'll take my other hand and I'll put it over hers and kind of squeeze her hands between mine. Fighting is overrated. You have a good place here, and no matter what happens, you should stay here and try to keep it safe. I don't even know if I'd call them my friends, but I certainly cannot speak for them. I will do my best. I'll try.
She'll smile and she'll say, like, well, regardless of what your decision is, I thought I'd give you a small gift. And she'll hand you a small, like rolled up paper, like a scroll. And she'll say, that's an entry pass to the farmers market in Amphail. It's one of the biggest events that takes place outside of Waterdeep. And traders from all over the Long Road kind of get together and sell like very interesting and obscure wares. And if anybody was going to get any use out of it, I'm sure it would be you guys. And I can't make it, so it's yours.
I'll take it. I have no idea what this means, but I'll take it and I'll nod very seriously. Thank you. And I'll just awkwardly tuck it into my kilt.
She will like look very like excited, and she'll like do you have a map on you or not?
No, you pulled me out of bed. I ain't got shit on me.
No, okay. She'll kind of like take like a stick and she'll kind of like draw a map of the Long Road, and she'll kind of like circle where you guys are, and then she'll circle a point just up to the north. That is where Amphail is, and she will like say like, that's where the market is. I've only ever been once myself, but it's very bizarre, very peculiar, and I thought that maybe that thing in the sky might have some kind of relation to it, because they always talk about some kind of ghost at that festival. But that's neither here nor there.
Okay. Again, I don't think Yuri would understand the correlation between the two things, but he just sort of nods and he'll look past her and kind of at the inn and around the area up at the sky. And I think he'll just be content to hang out for a little while.
Okay. She will be very content to hang out as well. And after a while of kind of like sitting there, hanging out, you're kind of like looking at the sky, kind of like looking at the different constellations, and you'll kind of like look back at Kazat the horse, and you'll see like the braids that you and Helio made are still like like very well kept and are still like in the mane. She'll like look over to you once it starts to get a little bit later, and she'll like give you a big smile, and she'll say like, "This is thanks for dolling up Kazat and making him look all cute." And she will give you a nice little peck on the cheek, and she will give you a big smile, and will like begin walking back.
Just like freeze up for a solid 30 seconds. And then as soon as she disappears into the bar, I like jump up real quick and run after, and just then wait and then go back up after she goes up and go to bed.
Okay. I will say that you'll notice really quick, again, she's terrible at hiding these kinds of things. When she goes in and she's like, you're frozen for a minute, you'll see her eye kind of like peek out from behind this like windowsill here, like clearly watching you to see a reaction before.
Yeah, I run away.
Before like being contented and kind of like going back to her quarters.
Yeah, I run away and go back to bed.
Okay, all right. And with that, gang, I think we're done with this city. At least for the time being. But before we transition to the next day, I would like to do a couple things on my end. So give me 1 minute.
Ooh.
Pretty early in the morning, Helio would like to wander a little bit.
Okay.
He's gonna get up and make sure Yuri is asleep,
Okay.
because he doesn't want him to get mixed up in anything right now. He's gonna find Vesper.
Okay, Vesper's down in, I'm on the dynamic lighting layer, right here. No, you can't see that because I'm pinging the dynamic light. Why would they even have that? I don't understand why they let you do that. There you go. Okay, here you go.
In here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right there.
Okay.
There you go.
Where is Vesper? Does Vesper, like, keep all her stuff on her when she sleeps? Or, like, what does she do?
Oh, I would. I'd definitely get comfortable, so I'd take off all my armor. But I'd definitely sleep with my little black book and my arcane focus like on me. Those are the two most important things to me. So I'd have those on me. Everything else would probably just be like around the bed.
So, at first glance, do you think Helio would see the bag of beans, or does she have them inside of something?
Oh, that would I'm assuming that'd probably be in like a backpack type of thing that I've just been putting a bunch of stuff in. Because I have a backpack.
Okay. So I guess it'd be a DM question. Can I see the bag of beans anywhere?
Probably not.
Yeah,
Like outright.
Out in the open, I'll say no, but like I would say that you could see the bag that Vesper wears every day. Like you'd see the bag, it's probably just like a general kind of like leather backpack. You could see that just kind of like lying on like a table or something.
I'll go look in the bag.
Okay. If you are going to, are you trying to clep the beans? Are you trying to take them, or are you trying to?
He wants one bean.
One bean? Okay, alright. I need to pull up Vesper's character sheet for a minute, for no particular reason. Don't worry. I just need to know how loud the thing and how heavy the things are that Vesper keeps in Vesper's backpack.
Oh.
Uh,
There's a lot of shit. in
yeah, I
that
was gonna say there's a
backpack.
lot. I'll say make me a sleight of hand check, and we'll see how you do. A sleight of hand. Make me one sleight of hand check and one stealth check for each time you're trying to like rummage through the bag to get some beanage.
There's a sleight of hand,
Okay.
and there is a stealth.
And I will have Vesper, assuming Vesper wants to like actually wake up. I will have Vesper, if you would like to, roll a Constitution save. I think is what they do for like waking things up. So yeah, that sounds right. No, no. Yeah, Vesper is out. Vesper is very sleepy. I will say that you can do the next one. You can pretty much. I'll say with that roll that you can pretty easily get a bean. I'll say that you can, fish your way down into the bag, and you can pull out a bean real quick.
I just want one bean.
Okay, you have one bean. It is yours.
And then I'm gonna fly over to Vesper.
Okay. Really quick, I will say before you do that, that you notice when you're kind of like in the room, you're kind of like digging through the bag. You notice that Vesper is like out, like not waking up. So you're kind of just like tossing things onto the floor. Just kind of like making a little bit of a mess. And you look up for a moment, and you notice that like you're kind of accustomed to how like the night looks. Like night. Like you kind of like the moonlight and how bright it is. I guess. It appears brighter out than it would normally.
It's gonna continue with trying to wake up Vesper.
Okay.
He's gonna shake her shoulder.
Does Vesper wake up?
Vesper, wake up.
I mean, I rolled a natural 1, so I feel like it's gonna take more than just a little tiny hand on the shoulder to shake to wake me up.
Forget it. He's flying out. He's going back to Yuri.
Okay. All right.
Okay. He's gonna try and wake up Yuri.
Yeah, what's going on? Yeah.
You wanna have
Happening.
some fun?
What?
Do you wanna have some fun?
I just kind of narrow my eyes at Helio, and just in my head I go, well, they're not gonna kiss me, are they? No. Okay, that'd be weird. And then I just kind of stare weirdly at Helio for like way too long, because I've had weird dreams. I don't know what's going on. Weird dreams. Not sure what happened.
He's gonna hold up the bean.
What is that? What is that? Where did you get that?
Is there a door here? Does this go outside?
I think you have to go out through the inn.
Are those windows? Can you open the windows?
You can open the windows should you choose.
Okay, he's gonna try and fly out this way.
I'll open a window then. And
Okay. Simple enough. They're not locked or anything. They're just, standard little windows. So, no, I'm on the wrong layer.
kind of open it and look back at Helio. Okay. So what now?
This is at the end of the long rest, but before everybody wakes up.
Okay.
Oh boy. Love those
Just
words.
to be clear.
He needs spell
Oh
slots.
no.
Love the clarification. Continue.
I don't.
You little chaos monster.
I'm gonna go outside.
How is Helio going to get you guys banned from this location?
Can't wait to find out. I watch.
Helio is going to take the bead, dig a little hole, put it in the ground, and cast Druidcraft on it to make it grow.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. Slow down there, cowboy. Slow down there, Jose.
Oh boy.
Slow down, Jose. We've gotta do some digging. How many beans did you guys have in that bag?
We had 8, I believe.
8 beans. Did you
Fairly
pick
low
any
number.
bean in specific, or did you just pick a random bean?
Just a random bean, I guess.
Oh, shit.
Don't
All
like
right.
these questions.
Roll
I
me a
don't want
one.
it to be
Roll me a
close.
1d8.
Okay, I want it to be as far away from the tavern.
Good.
as
Okay.
we
All
can
right.
get. Yeah.
All right. Good. Okay.
I
Yeah.
just can't
Relief.
move further away because it's the edge of the map. But he would have flown further away.
Okay.
Would
Awesome.
any of us have heard them opening and climbing out the window?
I'll say if you would like to attempt it, you can make a Constitution saving throw.
I
Do I
mean,
keep doing these things?
do I need to make a sleight of hand check or something?
I mean, if you would actually, if you want
Yeah,
to, if you
I
want to stealthily climb out the window, then you guys can make a stealth check, and then we could contest that against a con save.
Oh, I'm not going out the window.
Oh, okay.
I'm watching. I'm just opening the window
if-
and watching.
I would say if you're just opening the window and not clambering out, then I would say that you're not going to wake anybody up, because Helio can slip out the window. Yeah, so I'll say that you can do this with impunity.
Just crack it open a tiny, tiny, tiny bit.
Okay.
Make you crawl out.
All right, Helio, roll me 1d8, please.
Alrighty then. 1d8. 7.
All right, let me pull up my
Oh, boy.
bean table.
Beans, wonderful food. The more you eat, the more you do.
Things you say as a dungeon master.
Oh
Alright, roll
boy.
on the chicken table.
Can't
Let me
beat
get
the
the
chicken
bean table
table.
ready.
Me
Yeah,
as a
the bean
player would
table.
like to apologize for anything that I'm about to do.
Oh no.
Okay.
No, you
Don't
don't.
like that.
You don't. You're not apologizing for anything. You don't mean that.
So
Yeah.
I need
Go
to
big
go.
or go home.
Hey, on this map, where do you go?
Okay, so this is the tavern, right?
Yes.
And did we fly out? Is this the back? or
This is the
back?
bog right here. This is the back right here. You would be
Okay,
facing
but-
this little body of water coming out here.
Would Helio have come out like this little window right here?
You'd be coming out like the back, like this direction.
Okay, so I'd be here. Let me grab that. I just need to be very clear. If he came out this little window right here. Okay, so he's coming out over there.
Yeah, you're coming out the back. Like there's
That's
windows
fine.
on the back that you
Okay.
can't see. So there's like
What-
there's a little extension on the back that comes out, and you're
What-
coming out that back way.
What is this building right here?
It's just a shed that is not on the map. That it's just a shed. There's a
This is water.
this is water. Yes.
He would go about right here. This area.
Okay. Is that your final answer?
Love that.
He wouldn't go too far from your, because if Yuri's not coming out the window, he's not gonna go too far.
Okay, now I need to determine how big this town is. Give me a minute, everyone.
Oh no.
Do I need to determine if I know that Helio is up to some fucking nonsense, or
I mean,
I'm just like chilling, hanging out, leaning against like.
you'll see
looking
in
out.
a minute.
I
He's
got
up to
my
some-
arms folded, looking out the window, kind of daydreaming a little bit, because I got kissed on my cheek. Watching Helio.
Oh boy, they don't have very accurate size scaling of this map. Oh jeez, oh boy. Oh, I just need to know how much of this town you guys have absolutely fucking destroyed. I'm not even making
Oh,
that as a joke.
Fuck.
That's not even a
no.
joke. Yeah, you guys have caused some trouble.
Hey, do not put us in the same boat as that little fairy. He's on a whole different level.
All right,
We did
so
nothing.
let's go
An
here.
accomplice at that.
Oh man.
God. How are you gonna explain that to the bar lady?
I don't know. You're gonna explain any of this
We'll
to
find
anyone.
out.
So, Helio, you go out there, you look at the little seed that you're holding, and this seed is, not seed, but bean. This bean is, it's, like, got, like, a wooden texture to it, like a bark texture, and it's got these, like, thick, sort of green veins kind of, like, going through it. Each one is sort of, like, seems to be, like, full of, like a viscous green liquid, and if you kind of, like, poke at it for a minute, you'll notice that, like, the veins pop very easily, and, like, they ooze this liquid out onto you. And when the liquid falls onto the ground, it like various different types of plants and fungi kind of sprout from
That's not bad at all.
Oh boy.
So you put it in the ground, and you cast Druidcraft on it, and you expect like, oh, it'll create a fun little flower field, or oh, like a tree will grow, and out of this like this seed, a tree starts growing, and it starts growing and growing and growing until like it gets taller than the tavern, and it starts like uprooting things because its roots are stretching out very, very far. And you'll notice that it keeps going, and at this point, I'll say everybody wakes up to the sound of.
Hold on. I was gonna say, how long until I feel like this is not this is a fucking problem? Because want to go start knocking on doors if it's gonna. Do this.
You guys start waking up to the sound of earthquake. You might hear somebody yell. You might hear somebody yelling that from this building, which is now being toppled over, falling this way.
Holy shit!
You'll hear somebody yell earthquake, and you'll hear the rumbling of earth as you guys wake up.
God damn it!
Okay, I go knock on everybody's doors. I'm screaming. I'm running downstairs and finding bathroom. I'm pulling everybody out of the fucking inn. However long that takes.
Finch is bursting out in pajamas. Just chicken in one arm, anarchy in the other, fucking running through wherever the hell.
You can roll the chicken table for me, by the way, just to see how bad this gets.
Oh god.
Come on, let the chicken solve this.
No.
12. Let's go.
Okay, we'll get to the chicken in a minute.
Oh no.
Fuck.
So
That's bad.
so it keeps going and going and going, and eventually, its roots stop growing as it's like it begins to lift the tavern up, and the tavern now kind of sits like Leaning Tower of Pisa style, at like a skewered maybe 33-degree angle facing towards the stump bog, and you guys do all make it out in time where there's no injuries, except for all the windows are shattered, and the furniture is destroyed, and there's food everywhere.
Past mending on everything, knowing it's not going to do anything, but just trying.
Yeah, and then, Helio, you look at your handiwork, and there's a very, very big tree. Huge tree. Very large. And though it has slowed growing, it's still going. It's not stopping.
Does this remind me of any particular tree of home?
It does. It reminds you of all the trees at home. All of them, because they're all really, really big. Particularly the ones that grow in the sort of spring and fall areas of the Feywild. This reminds you of just standard trees that grow there. And it's just a very big tree. You would know that the wood that's cut from this does have magical properties and can be fashioned into magical weapons should it be worked properly, and very skilled.
Does he see anybody running?
You'll see. This house is destroyed. This house here is gone. You'll see horses running into the wilderness. You'll see people clutched outside their homes trying to figure out what the hell is going on. You'll see people on their knees praying to some divine entities. You will see the paltry guard force of 5 guards and a guard captain from Waterdeep have all rushed out to investigate the situation from the local keep. They're kind of pacing the tree, kind of tapping at it with their swords, trying to figure out what's going on. The guard captain is going around calming everybody down. You'll see a guy on horseback rides off towards Waterdeep to go get reinforcements. And yeah, a big tree is here.
Quick little thing. As soon as I would have woken everybody up, made sure everybody was awake, running down the stairs, grabbed Vethor, run out, and then I would have run and tried to grab Kazat to make sure he didn't run off.
Yeah, I'll say you're successful. I'll say you have enough time to kind of like get everybody out. But I will say that Vethier is like, maybe not like heartbroken is the right word, but like very distraught. Like her business is now sitting at a 33-degree angle. All the windows have been smashed. Like there's no recovering any of the furniture is pretty much all destroyed or in ruin, or in tatters. The dock that goes, on the map, there's a dock. It's not on this map, but it's on the map itself. The dock that hangs over this little bit of lake has been kind of, torn from the tavern and is now kind of, split down the middle. The place doesn't look great. It doesn't look super awesome. It definitely looks like it's, seen better days. I don't know, just yesterday.
3 hours ago when we were sitting out here
just
looking at the
3
end, and I
hours
was
ago.
saying, hey, stay here, because it's safe. Yeah, I'm handling this super fine, by the way.
Floating there, reveling in the glory of the giant.
I will also say that this tree, in order to meet its very demanding water needs, does start to. You'll notice that this pond here actually starts to drain a bit as water is being soaked in by the tree in order to continue its growth. And you do know that, hey, this is really good soil and a really good location for this tree to grow in. On the plus side, this tree is it's in a very good spot. This is fertile soil. It's nice and moist here. It's great.
Think of all the shade.
And it's a good landmark. And it is magic. It's magic. You know that it's very easy to with the proper magical abilities, tear open portals to the Feywild using these trees, especially if they're planted on the Prime. You know that you've caused a huge fucking mess. Anyways,
you know what this needs more of? More beans.
More beans, yeah. So, yeah, at this point, the sun's coming up, and there's a tree. And I'll just say Vethier kind of just sits down on that same rock that she was with you yesterday on, Yuri, and we'll just kind of, just slump and not even really say anything. Just kind of, we'll look like awestruck, but not in a good way.
I go sit with her.
Okay, that's good. But she's not going to say anything. She'll just kind of, just sit there in a slump and just kind of, look upset. And before you say anything to her, I would also like it noted that at this point, guards are going about questioning people.
Disguise self.
And you'll hear them kind of they'll knock on doors and they're kind of rescuing people. People in this house weren't fortunate enough to wake up all of them in time, so they're kind of climbing into the wreckage and getting everybody out. Seems like everybody's okay, just a little bit, shaken up. Yeah, things are a mess. But they'll start questioning people, and nobody seems to have seen any culprits.
All hail the glory of the giant tree.
But yeah, the only thing that somebody will say is the sky looked weird last night, and that this might be some divine, intervention. The goddess Maliki might have, bestowed her blessing upon the village or something. And you'll see, if you're paying close attention to the guards, all of them will roll their eyes. That cannot possibly be the case. This place is a dinky little nowhere village in Nowheresville. That's not true. But eventually they will get to you guys. And there'll be 2 guards, and the guard captain will come up as well, and he'll furrow his brow at you guys, and especially kind of at Yuri, and he'll kind of stroke his kind of blonde kind of beard, his golden beard, and he's this older human man with sort of darkish tan skin. He looks very similar to Feindar, actually, in terms of his appearance, as a human. And or at least is like a human-looking entity, and he kind of approaches you guys and says like, "You guys are new around here. Do you guys have any idea what happened?"
If he's speaking to me, I have my arm around Vethra, and I just don't
I
really
will
look
say,
up at him, and I
actually,
kind of
really quick,
start
if you-
muttering in Orcish to him, and I don't really seem like I want to act like I know how to talk to him.
Okay. I was gonna say, regardless, if he sees you comforting her, he will, like, leave you be. He'll kind of, like, look at you, like, sort of, like, he'll look at you, like, very, like, kind of, like, with a scowl for a moment, like, you did this, or, but then he'll, like, he'll see
I
that you're
also pretend like I don't speak common.
good.
So.
And, yeah, he'll, like, look at you for a moment and realize, like, okay, not only does this person not speak common, he's also helping our town and keep, and, like, that's very, like, nice of him, so... I'm just going to leave that to them. And he'll turn to the rest of you guys, and the next look will go to you, Finch, because of Tiefling. And he'll look at you.
I did cast Disguise Self to look like a human. I
Okay,
did say
perfect.
Disguise Self
Then
earlier.
the next look will go to Vesper. Vesper, you're being stared at very angrily. And he's got like a notepad in one hand and 2 guards at the ready. And he's like, "Well, can you explain what's going on here?"
Did we all leave the tavern?
You guys are all standing out in front. I guess.
Oh.
You're in your room. Never mind then.
Yeah, I just said that I stayed in my room and I was putting on my armor and putting my stuff together, and I didn't know if it was possible for me to notice that the bag of beans was touched or not.
I would say that currently your room is at a 33-degree angle and your stuff is
Right.
kind of spilled everywhere. So it's not
Yeah.
really your first priority to count the beans. So I would say
Right.
that it would take a concerted effort to like look into the bag of beans and like, you know, make sure they're all there or something, you know.
Okay, well, that's probably not important to me right now, so I'm just putting all my stuff together, making sure I'm not leaving anything, but, like, I'm just baffled in my room.
Okay. And yeah, I guess since Finch, you're the only one that's within eyesight distance. He'll look at you and he'll just kind of like angrily ask the same question he's been trying to ask everybody. What's going on here?
Can I just quickly look at Helio and just know he did something? Or do I have to make an insight check for
I don't know where
that?
Helio is.
Helio, I would assume, is exploring the canopy of the tree, but
Oh, okay. Then
Oh.
no, Helio's gone. You don't know where
Just
Helio's
gonna put her hands together and just take a deep sigh and breathe out. Very annoyed at the situation. Before like try to figure out what to say. I don't know. I'm a traveling singer. Oh no, this is terrible. Whatever could have happened.
Hill.
Very dryly.
How fancily is this disguise dressed?
It's the same outfit as Finch would normally wear.
Okay,
so it's
then
pajamas,
then-
but multiple colors.
Okay, yeah, he'll look at you a little bit like he's not fully buying it, but he won't press it. He'll just kind of like he'll jot something down really quick and he'll like motion to his 2 soldiers, and he will move over to his next suspect, which is the lady living in this shack. And you'll see him kind of like march off in that direction. And I will also notice, hey, everybody, make me a perception check.
Oh no. This is the chicken.
To exit my room, do I need to climb out my window?
Yeah, you would need to climb now. You need to do a little bit of clambering.
Okay. Well, after putting all my stuff together, I'll climb out my window and just be like, what the...
you
Yeah.
want to make a perception too, or
Yeah, you can all make perceptions. Hey, surprise! Doesn't matter what you rolled. You notice that Lady A's not here.
Oh?
Can I walk over to her window from my window?
Yeah, you can go over. I mean, you're still inside, so you can just kind of like walk down the hallway. It's at a steep
Yeah.
angle, but you can, if you like kind of like use your hands to grip at the loose floorboards now, you can climb up there and see the door,
Sure.
and it's open, and there's nobody inside.
The second Finch thinks Lady A is missing, she is beginning to message cantrip. Lady A, my Lady Agatha, where are you? Where the fuck are you?
I would say Lady A is gone, man. Lady A is not within 120 feet.
Oh shit. Finch is just running around trying to pick up any sign of Lady A.
Make me an investigation check.
Can I investigate her room for, like, stuff?
You can, and
To
I will
see
get to that. in a
Natural
minute.
20.
Oh, hey, all right.
Natural 20.
Vesper, you can roll to investigate her room, but I will say that you see, her boot prints. She has very distinct, like the boots that she wears. If I remember correctly, she does wear boots, right? I'm pretty sure she does. You'll see that, we'll say for the sake of this that she does, and that the boots that she does have a very crude engraving of what she thinks Zymo looks like on the bottom. When they're tracked in the mud, it leaves like a print of like Lady Zyma's like sort of like holy symbol in the mud. And you see it leaving Rosalentar up the north road, or up the long road. And you follow it to the edge of town, and it continues going.
I'm just gonna mutter, fuck, god damn it, she better not have left. And is gonna just message everyone. Yuri, get Helio, we're leaving. Vesper, fuck, do you find anything in her room? We have to go.
With that investigation check, I will say that, you know that, like, she left in a hurry. Like, you can still see there are still some things kind of scattered about on the floor, but just nothing like super important, just kind of like things weren't like put back nice and tidy, like things weren't left as they were found. But other than that, it's pretty gone. Like there's nobody there.
No notes, no nothing.
Nothing.
Okay.
Unless, I guess, would Lady A have left anything, Shady? Nope. Okay.
I'm just
Then
gonna
I'll go find
immediately
Finch if I hear Finch calling.
I'm just gonna immediately send Anarchy out just to follow the trail.
Okay. All right. So as Anarchy is doing this, are you guys gonna start skedoodling, or are you guys sticking around to see the aftermath of the tree?
Lady A is missing. That's Finch's top priority. She is going to make that abundantly clear to everyone.
How insistent is the message?
If it is ignored, Finch is going to repeat it on loop with bad, with just really catchy jingles of do-do-do-do-do. If you got this, my friend killed, I'll kill you. Get the fuck down here.
Okay, so from the top of the tree, can Helio see anything? Like,
from the top of the tree, I don't even know if Helio would receive the message. 'Cause it's a big tree, man. I'll say just barely, but like, you might be getting some static interference. Yeah, you can see, I mean, when you're at the top of this tree, you can look down and you can see a lot. You can even see, like, out to, like, you can see all the way out into, like, the thick of the stump bog. You can see, like, where Cran's, like, tower is out in the stump bog, as well as, like, the ruins of some buildings out there. And you can see...
Well, I see, Finch running out of town.
Yeah, you'd see it. You can see everything.
Then I guess I would fly after. I mean, I got all my stuff. Might as well just fly.
Okay, alright. My real question is Yuri. Does Yuri follow? Because Yuri, like, you know, you've got an inconsolable barkeep on your hands who is this close to just weeping uncontrollably next to you.
Now she's got a treehouse.
Hey, I'll also let you know that really quick, just another fact about this tree that I have down is to cut it you need magical wood. Or not magical wood, magical metal. Like, regular metal doesn't hurt this tree.
See? Just build onto it. It'll never die. I made the place stronger. Now they have a place to flee to if they ever get attacked. They can just...
If they can climb the tree.
That too.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Does Yuri follow them? Does Vesper?
No.
I follow. Yeah, if I hear that and if Finch points out the boot marks, then sure, yeah. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, she, like, run away because of what I said last night? Or, like, do we really need to follow? But I'm still following Finch.
Okay. Yuri, you're not going?
No, he doesn't follow. He stays here and he keeps his arm around Vesper.
Okay. She
I
will,
think...
she will just kind of, like, I will say that, like, for a solid, like, hour, she will not say anything. Like, she'll just kind of, like, you can see on her face the, like, different stages of grief kind of, like, playing out, very slowly. Yeah, she's not even in the mood to talk. Like, she's just, like, you can just see, like, the tears kind of welling up in her eyes. Like, it's not good. Not great.
If Helio notices that he's not, Yuri's not coming, he'd probably stop and go back to try and find him.
Yeah, you notice after a little bit, you know, you'd start walking out of town and you'd see, you know, like, Finch is desperately trying to get her, like, clothes on and, like, you know, get ready to go. But you'll notice that, like, Yuri is not there.
And yeah, he would go back.
Alright. I'll say you find the situation I described pretty much, like, you saw it, I would assume, from your perch. You saw that, Yuri's sitting there, arm around Vethier, and she's just kind of, like, out of it. Like, 1,000-yard stare, not looking happy.
So what are we doing?
Finch and Vesper are going after Lady Agatha.
Okay.
I don't know what to say. I honestly feel like he just, because of the circumstances and everything, honestly, he does not want to talk to you right now, Helio. He's very upset with you specifically. He feels like we handled everything and everything was fine, and then you went out a window, and that was it.
See, and Helio genuinely thinks he improved the area. He's not even, like, trying to... He's not trying to hurt people's feelings. He genuinely thinks he improved the area, and that this area is now much better off than it was.
Oh, God.
I will say, for clarification's sake, a couple of things that do kind of add to that case. One, I will say that, Vesper, though you don't agree, I would assume you don't agree with what he did, you do admit it feels better, like, being in that, like, even when you're there, just being in the presence of that tree, seeing it, you feel better, you know, like, it just, you feel, like, just, like, palpably, like, better. Maybe it's just a small bit, you know, you feel good. And I would say that everybody who looks at it does get a genuine feeling of, like, oh, I like it, you know, like,
it's like, where he's from, the people would know how to use this to benefit themselves. Like this is a major gift. Like
And-
if you, from his point of view, it's a major gift. They could use it to better the town. They could build around it, add to it, build on top of it. Like there's so much opportunity in his mind here that he's ecstatic and he's not understanding why people are upset about it.
The only other thing I'll say is that, like, different exotic, otherworldly foliage, like flowers and little mushrooms, begin to sprout up around town, and kind of like, it's slow, but you'll notice, like, as a leaf falls from the tree, you know, and lands on the ground, it will, like, be replaced by a, like, very colorful flower or something, you know.
I mean, does Bethra feel better when she looks at the tree?
No. No. No, no, no,
Yeah,
no, no.
sorry. That's my answer then. That's what Yuri's going off of.
If she
All
looks
he
at the
knows
tree...
is Heliu did a thing, and she is very upset. And after everything else that happened,
If
I
she looks
think
at the
that this
tree...
might have been his last thing.
I'll say if she looks at the tree, you might try to, like, you know, maybe, like, you'll kind of, like, be like, oh, the tree isn't that bad. You'll kind of, like, maybe have her look at it.
Oh, I don't say that.
Oh, okay. Never mind
No,
then.
I'm smart.
Okay.
I'm smarter than that. No, I do not say that. Nope.
Okay. But the very, very, like,
Quiet and consoling.
the like small amount of magic, like the small amount of charming magic that this tree has, with its like fey nature, is not strong enough to overcome like very strong emotions, which Vethir's is pretty strong.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Well, then I guess Helio will just fly back to the tree and spend his time with the tree.
Okay.
Which is gonna just quickly grab Vesper's shoulder. I don't know why she's gone, but watch after the others for a moment, and I'm gonna put on the boots of blinding speed.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
I can
Oh.
wait. What do the boots do? Because I can cast Expeditious Retreat.
Double my movement speed. If you want to double that as well, I'll take that.
Then yeah. But before, Charlie, can I do this? Can I drop the previous token I put on Feindar and Awen and give Finch a token?
Yes,
can I
you
do
can.
that?
You totally can.
Okay. Cool. I'm gonna give Finch a little token. I'm gonna cut off a piece of my hair, wrap it in some twine. I'm just gonna say, keep this on your persons. Don't drop it. It'll help me to see you as long as you're within 10 miles of me. And I'll cast Expeditious Retreat on her. And I'll go back into go back to town and just kind of like, I mean, are the guards still kicking up like a...
I will say that 2 of the guards of the original 5 are gone. One of them left pretty much as soon as this kind of broke out to go to Waterdeep, and the other one, another one, followed close behind a while after, like after some questioning was finished, to kind of like ensure, like if that guy got ambushed by some kind of attackers or something, that the message would definitely get through. And that's fairly standard practice, so you would know like the like that he probably took a longer winding route to just ensure that the message got there. I will also say that other than that, though, the guards are just methodically going between each house, trying to collect any information they can. But you know that to get between here and Waterdeep at the pace that like an army would go, or like a guard force, it would take 2 or 3 days. So like you've got time.
Okay. Then, I mean, Finch, did you drop your disguise self at one point? Or were you still like human Finch?
I probably dropped it once I realized Lady A was missing.
Okay. Well, I have no idea what's going on, and I don't know if I've heard anybody mention about what happened last night, so I'm just going to make my way back towards the Sleeping Dragon and just kind of off, I guess, away from people, find a nice little perch just to watch the tree, watch people, watch guards, watch this house over here, and just maybe while I'm doing that, Lady Agatha will show up. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, boy, a lot of things are gonna happen here. So, yeah, you sit for a while and you watch, and I mean, like, the village doesn't. I mean, like, things kind of don't change. The only thing that I would say that you notice, depending on where you're perched, I would say that you would notice, a small, like, you'll see out in the distance. Actually, make me a perception check before I give you any.
My perception is balls.
No, you don't see anything. It's too foggy. You don't see anything. But yeah, the village is just very, like, it's quiet, more quiet than it normally is, and like, it's also just kind of like in ruin, like it's like this, like the whole area around here is kind of like, this house is probably like mostly destroyed, this house is mostly gone, this house is like corner is gone, Sleeping Dragon is like, again, like tipped forward, and it's like quickly, like, it was originally at like a 33-degree angle, now it's like at a 45, it's fallen down. The stables over here for the guards' horses are pretty much fully destroyed. And like, you'll see like the water in this pond is drained about halfway. There's just like big massive roots that kind of like have just taken over this massive, like, this whole area, and have just kind of like left massive like wooden hills in this entire sort of like circle, like radius, I guess, but other than seeing people like waking up and like just sort of like with like a look of horror on their face, you don't see much happening.
I have a really, like, technical question to ask. So, you have a home rule where all classes can change spells after every long rest, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So when can we decide, like, what spells to change to? Because I don't know if this will work, but if I have a chance to change out a cantrip for Mold Earth, could I use Mold Earth to right the Sleeping Dragon from its angle and put it back to normal?
Link Mold Earth. I need to see it.
Let me remove this and I'll add Mold Earth.
I would say that you can't. I would say that you can't replace cantrips. You can't replace cantrips, but I would say 5-foot cube. I would say that with a lot of time, yeah, you could fix it with Mold Earth.
Okay, that'd take too long. Then never mind.
Yeah, it would take a long time, and I would say that either way, cantrips are something that you kind of like study for like a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of like, you can just kind of like on the fly do it. I would say that unless you had like extensive training with that kind of thing, then no, unfortunately, I don't think I would let that happen. But
well, I tried.
I appreciate the effort, and I'm sure that everybody in the town does as well. Finch, let's move to you. Let's go. What direction do you run out of town in? You run out the north, right? Following the boot tracks?
Yeah.
All right. Let me pull up the map here.
We're all gonna die.
If Lady A is in the process of dying, Finch is killing her. She'll revive her, but she'll fucking kill her first.
Ba 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 ba. Give me one moment before I do anything.
Ooh.
What? Why didn't that? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O.
Oh, 20.
What?
Always broken.
Okay, alright, give me a minute.
I
Out of
hope this is
character.
like a Lady Agatha brings the group together by disappearing type of moment.
You don't know.
I know, I don't know, but that's what I'm hoping.
She's gonna kill Lady A when she finds her. She is not happy with having been left.
Oh, character development. I love it.
Huzzah.
Oh, we have a chaotic group.
Hmm.
I was
You're
under-
not dead when I find you. I'm gonna kill you.
Sending message every so many feet.
Yeah, just constantly, Lady A, fucking swear to God.
When Lady Agatha and Finch were together before, did like Lady Agatha just like bounce, or did you guys like leave at like a okay, we'll see you later, have a good time type of thing? Like mutual type of thing?
I always thought it would have been more like a mutual type deal.
Yeah, Finch would have
Hey.
had to have left at like the same time every year to rejoin her troop, so it probably would have been.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Whatever happened with the chicken? Swear to God, if it becomes a god, I'm gonna be angry at him. Shit is already glowing.
Okay, let me go to the map here. You guys are on the map with me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I need to calculate out how fast you're running. I will say also, hey, a couple things to note about what you're doing, especially with the double speed that you've got going on. First, hey, you're going at, it's 180 feet every 6 seconds, you said?
Hell yeah. I'm gonna, just for my body's sake of well-being, I'll cast Enhanced Stability. I'm gonna assume Connor Dex, just to make sure I'm like holding it together as I'm moving at the speed.
Yeah, because I was gonna say your next problem now is that you're running that fast with a blindfold on, essentially.
I have 15 feet of blind distance, so I'm kind of topping it.
Yeah, but the thing is, you know, when you're going that fast, 15 feet of a heads up that you're gonna run face first into a carriage full of like pickles isn't. You know, like, you run into that carriage, not only are the pickles gone, you're gone. Like, you know, you're gonna be in some serious trouble, like injury-wise trouble, if you run that fast into something like that. So, I'm just gonna warn you, like, though this section of road isn't super busy, you cannot see Lady A's tracks when you're going. Like, you can't see Lady A's tracks because you need like a visual to see them. Or at the very least, like a touch, but you're not touching the ground unless you're running barefoot, and even
like,
then.
My familiar?
Oh, your familiar. Okay, so you're gonna use your familiar to see?
Oh fuck it! I'll have him out in front of me.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Oh god, it's gonna be such a book. I'm just a tiefling booking it down. A coyote just held up in front of her with like weird eye boots, just zooming.
Yeah, you tear, man. You go, and I would say that like, man, if you could travel like this all the time, that'd be great. The only thing that is sort of like about it is that it's very exhausting. But you travel for a while, and eventually the soil kind of goes from being this like wet, kind of marshy soil to a more dry, craggy soil. and the hills around you transition from being like these low-lying marshy hills to these, again, like craggy, stony hills, like with like big flat stone plateaus atop each one. And though you run and you run, eventually the tracks, they just give out. You don't see the tracks anymore. And so you kind of continue following based on instinct until you eventually see the town of Amphail approach on the horizon. And I guess I'll ask you, do you want to go into the town, or do you want to just return back?
I'll first try to message her. Just, my lady, where are you?
I will say you get no response, no pings back.
Yeah, she'll take off the boots and cast disguise self on herself to look like a human.
Okay, alright, and you're gonna go into town?
Yeah, just gonna ask around for Lady A, try and find her.
Okay, give me a moment. So, you arrive in the small little hamlet of Amphail. Much larger than the town you were just in, Ras Al Antar, but still very small in comparison to, you know, like even moderately sized cities. And there's no walls. You see like one guard kind of like is patrolling the area near the head road here, but other than that, it's still fairly early morning, and there's nobody really like out yet. You know, like you might see on the, like, as you approach, you might see some people like wheeling carts around, or you know, things like that. You might see somebody setting up a tent, but nothing like nothing like unique or interesting.
All right, I'll just immediately run up to the guard.
Okay. He will kind of like look at you. You know, you're sweaty and you're tired. You know, you're like huffing and you're puffing, and he'll kind of like look at you, like you've just like witnessed some disaster, and he'll kind of like ready his weapon, not like in a way to like hurt you, but in a way to like defend himself. He's like, what's wrong? Who goes there?
Have you seen? And just breathing heavily, just on hands on her knees. Have you seen a tall, muscular blonde woman? Talking about Zyma. Her name's Lady Agatha. At all.
He'll like pace for a moment. He goes from like having this kind of like brief sense of urgency to like immediately just like calm, like, oh, okay, there's not some world ending, you know, like not any disaster going on. And he'll just kind of like very lethargically say like, well, I don't think I've seen anybody like that, and this is just the beginning of my shift, and no, I haven't seen anything like that in all my time at this post. You might want to check in Waterdeep. If you're looking for someone, that's normally where they're found.
Okay. Who was last at your post? I need to find her.
He'll close his eyes and he'll think, and I'll say like, oh shoot, I think it was Gothel's grandchild. Oh, what's her name? The name escapes me, but she lives in that house just on the edge of town. She's probably asleep though. She's been up all night, but she's a friendly sort, so I'm sure she won't mind if you knock on her door and ask her some questions.
Before he even finishes, Finch is already running off to that house.
Okay, all right. You run up to the house, knock on the door, and there is no response.
Let me check message quickly. I feel bad for this poor woman.
Okay, yeah, you send her a message. Do you say anything in particular to her, or just like, hey, get the fuck up?
Just, sorry, my friend's missing. She is a very tall, muscular woman, blonde hair, probably has a weapon, probably talking about God. Have you seen her on your last shift?
You won't hear any response, but you'll hear from within the building some shuffling and some rustling, and somebody like this woman, this younger woman wearing just these like like basic robes, kind of like pajama robes, will come over and open the door, and it's one of those doors that's like it's like two doors in one, so there's like a top door that you can open and like a bottom door as well, kind of thing. And she opens just the top one, and she just kind of like looks at you, and she says, "What are you talking about? Person, God, what?"
Your last shift, did you see a very tall, muscular woman walking through town?
She'll rub her eyes and kind of like put her hand, like her arm down on the door frame, and kind of like think for a minute, and she'll say like, I haven't seen anybody like that. No, I saw a blue elf though, and isn't that peculiar? Don't see that every day.
Yep. Was the blue elf traveling with anyone?
Yeah, this guy in some very foreign, weird clothes. I don't know. He was talking about some kind of god, and she was kind of rolling her eyes, but, I don't know. I didn't see anybody like your description.
Would Finch get the sense that the boot prints she followed were this guy's and not Lady A's?
No, they were definitely Lady A's. But you don't know, like I said, like, about, I would say, a couple miles out of Rasalantar, the soil goes from being very, like, wet, where you would leave boot prints, to very dry, where there is not any boot prints to be left. You just don't, like, there's, like, even if you were, like, master detective, it'd be damn near impossible to find any boot prints in, like, the soil here.
She'd probably spend the better half of the day just trying to run around everywhere she could with the boots, just sending out message after message before, if she doesn't get any response, heading back to Vesper.
Okay, yeah, I'll say that you can do that to your heart's content, and nobody will respond. But I will move you back to Rasalantar with our Rasalantar gang. What are we doing here, gang?
I'm curious. So, this tree is obviously fey in nature.
Yeah, it is.
So, I'm super curious as to the reaction or what's going on with this house.
You'll notice, like I said earlier, you'll see that the guards went over and questioned her, and they came out empty-handed, it looks like, but the house itself just looks normal, as always.
Okay. I was just curious what the guards, like, did. How long has Finch been gone?
I'll say that she's gone all day. Like, she's gone for a long time.
Okay. Could I have used my token within that time just to, like, check on her and just see where she is, just in case? It's like, it's only for a minute, and it says, like, you can see and hear from the token as if you were located where it is. Like, I'd be standing right next to her.
Okay.
Just to see where she is at that time.
You probably see, to cut you off, you'd probably see just, like, Amphail, the city of Amphail. You might see her, you might kind of, like, barge in when she's talking to that, guard woman, like, talking to her about Lady A or something, You just would see that small town.
Okay. And I don't know if this also is, like, something I can do or if I have to choose one or the other, but it sounds like, because it says in addition while you are within 10 miles, but then after I do the stuff, the token is destroyed. So it says that I can apparently send a message. It doesn't say if I can receive a message like sending would do. But if I hear, because I'm assuming nothing happens in Rasalantar in terms of what Yuri and Helio are doing, right?
I will get to them.
Okay.
But for now, assume nothing happens.
Okay. Well, if nothing happens, then if I can do both of these instead of one or the other, because it sounds like I can do both, but once I use the token to see through it, it gets destroyed. I would just send a message to Finch, just telling her, we're all still here. I don't see Lady A at all in town. Try and get back before dark, if you can. But I know where you are. And that's pretty much it. And then once I use it to see where she is, like it gets destroyed, so I can't use it anymore.
Okay. I just wanted to make the joke that when a weird lady on an airship tries to spy on you, it's creepy and weird. But the second your best friend you've been traveling with for the better part of 2 weeks does it once, then it's suddenly like, okay, very weird, double standard. Anyways, with that joke out of the way.
A little different.
With that horrible joke.
Just a little.
I mean, Finch knew her sister, so is it really that creepy?
I mean, really? Come
Yes.
on now. It
Yes.
totally was creepy, don't worry.
Anyone with a giant orb following you is creepy.
And a giant airship. But anyways, we will move to Helio really quick. Helio, I need to know, I guess both Helio and Vesper, you guys are gonna leave, right? Like, maybe tomorrow? Or are you guys, like, when are you guys planning on leaving? Because I just want it noted that the guard will be here, like a full guard force will be here within 2 or 3 days.
Well, Helio, if he sees Vesper at any point from the top of the tree, will fly down and try and acquire more beans.
Oh god.
Without giving off that the beans is where the tree came from.
Okay.
And after that, or before that, he would see if he could gather some seeds. They're probably going to be really big seeds from this tree.
Okay, we'll start with the Vesper interaction. You can do that, because I just would be curious about how that goes.
My insight is really terrible, so it'd probably work in his favor. But
You just see a sparkling bean coming, flying down from the tree.
please don't tell me you did this.
What are you talking about? What do you mean? Did what?
Helio, if my memory serves me right, within these last couple of weeks, a lot of things that we've been through have been by your hand. So please don't tell me you did this.
You want to have some fun?
Helio.
Oh my
Look,
god.
I'm all for fun and games, but I get home. This is not home. This is not our home.
It could be, look. And you point at the tree.
But Helio, look what happened to those houses down there. What about their home?
You can't tell me that it's not approved.
Helio, it may be an improvement from our perspective, but not from theirs. I would love to go back home too, but we can't force these people to live in our home.
But what if this tree's the answer?
Well,
What if it can help us get back?
okay. But this tree needs to be the only thing. We can't make more of these.
Are you sure?
Helio.
I just think they could really benefit from it.
But Helio, Lady Agatha's missing and Finch is trying to chase after her. Do we have time for this?
Maybe you're right.
I mean, who knows, this could be our answer to get home. But right now, I think there are other things to do.
Okay. Can I have one more bean, though?
No.
I just want to hold it.
No.
Okay. I'll be back. And he's gonna fly back off to the tree.
Oh boy. Okay.
Essentially, he's just going to, like I said, look for seeds that he can germinate and say goodbye to the tree. That's all he's gonna do.
Okay. I will say that you could collect, I would say, 1 seed from this tree that you could take with you. The seeds are very large, and it would take a lot of your carry weight. And I would also say that since this is not a magically infused seed that you would find in a bag of beans, you could cast Druidcraft on it, but it would take a lot longer to grow. Like, its growth would not be nearly as accelerated.
It would just germinate. It wouldn't grow like this.
No, it wouldn't grow like this. You could start it growing, and if you were to stand there day and night, nonstop casting Druidcraft on it, it would start to grow, but it would grow at maybe 1/10, 1/20th of the speed that this tree did. It would go very slowly.
1 seed's all he needs. He just wants 1.
Okay, yeah, you can have 1 big ol' seed, and it's very similar in appearance to the bean you planted, except for that bean was much smaller, more condensed. This is more of a walnut type deal, but it's very heavy and very large.
Okay.
And it still has that green kind of liquid that, when pierced and dripped onto the ground, it creates foliage wherever it wherever it lands. Things like that. It's very similar in description.
Alrighty, so I'll list it as 1 giant Fey tree seed.
There you go. Perfect for me. And I will say that after a while, Yuri, Vethir will kind of look over at you, and she'll finally have you'll see the look on her face, she hasn't fully thought about all of her thoughts about this, she hasn't fully explored it, but she just looks at you and she says I tried my best, I tried.
I know.
I didn't want to be like the rest of us. I didn't want to destroy things.
Oh, he'll just start hushing her and just give her shoulder a squeeze and just pat her head a little bit.
She'll she'll look like...
If I'm still getting messages incessantly, I'll just walk away from it anytime it happens, but other than that, he's just sort of paying attention to her.
She'll she'll definitely quiet down, but after a while she'll speak up again, and she'll say what should I do now? It's ruined. I can't fix it, I can't save it.
Yuri just honestly doesn't know what to say, and he'll just sort of shake his head and just keep trying to I don't know. I want to say calm her down, but I don't think that's going to happen, so...
I will say that the fact that you're silent, on that matter, seems to, you kind of, notice that hits her kind of like a punch in the gut a little bit. She kind of sees you, at least in her eyes, as, a more, a knowledgeable, worldly kind of traveler, at least a little bit, and the fact that even you don't have any ideas for, what to do, or, anything, she kind of just, looks a little bit confused by that.
He's clearly weighing options in his head, if that helps at all.
Oh,
but he's thinking about a solution. But he just doesn't have anything currently.
she'll appreciate that, but the fact that it takes you even a minute kind of is like, damn, this is like a serious fucking problem. She'll be quiet though, and she'll just kind of she'll just lean into it. She'll just kind of like just kind of like curl up and just kind of be sad.
Fucking mood. Okay.
But I will say that, assuming nothing else changes, assuming there's nothing else anybody would like to do, I will say, Finch, you return to Ras Elantar as the sun is setting, and I will say that should you guys want to, you guys can take a rest in town, or you guys can decide your next course of action. I'm just the omnipotent god. I don't tell you guys what to do.
Finch will just return kind of winded, but extremely kind of downtrodden. Just kind of wait for the others.
I'll approach her first if nobody else does. Nothing?
No, I followed her trails as far as I could, but nothing.
And we know that it went north. And she's never done this before with you.
No, she never just left. She doesn't just leave. People don't just leave. It's unreasonable.
I mean, she seemed very pleasant when we all left last night, right? She wouldn't have left because of what I said, would she?
Hey, really quick, I just want to point out, you said unreasonable. I don't know if reasonable is a word I would use to describe Lady A. So I really quick just want you to make me an insight check to see if you could maybe like think back and determine Lady A's like course of action, like what went through Lady A's head that night. Maybe if you could see.
Did I have advantage because she's a dear friend and I have terrible insight?
Yeah, you can have advantage on that. I'll say.
Insight. Skill I use a bad at. That's an 8.
Yeah, you don't know. You're still sticking in that mindset. Like that is unreasonable. Like people just don't fucking leave. Like that's so weird, you know. So like you don't think that like even as weird as Lady A was, it's beyond weird to just leave. That's what your thought is. Continue.
She might be dead. She is an idiot. She has a sword, which is great. She's very wonderful in a fight. She is a fucking idiot. Like one person's gonna walk up, oh, I need help. Bam, she's dead.
Then we need to go after her tonight. God's going to be in the city within 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, is the warning the world and all that, is this on the way?
She could have gone to Golden Fields ahead of us, thinking that she could take care of things. I don't know.
That would honestly sound a lot like her.
I mean,
I'm going to give you a fair warning now. I am going to kill her, then bring her back with healing the second I lay eyes on her. I'm just going to establish this now. Just so when it happens, you do not freak out and think, oh, Finch has gone homicide. I have. I will bring her back.
I, really quick, just to interject one more time. Finch, make me a history check.
Oh, no.
Also, while that's happening, can I cast Druidcraft real quick to see what the weather's going to be like?
I will get to that in a
24
moment.
hours.
You think long and hard, and you think, like, who on earth, where, like, have we run into anybody? Do I know anybody that would know? Is there any way possible anyone anywhere could find Lady A at all, ever, anywhere? And your mind first starts to, like, the airship and, like, the scrying orb. No, the scrying orb was destroyed. Then you think, like, is there anybody that, like, knows Lady A? You know that Lady A comes from a tribe, but you don't know where that tribe is necessarily, and, like, you know that they're notoriously difficult to contact. and you think and you think and you think, but then your mind drifts back to that conversation from earlier this morning, and you think back and you remember Feindar, and you think of Feindar, and you remember what he said to Lady A at the like well, and you remember he said things about Zyma that like he seemed to know at least a little bit about Zyma, and you suppose that like you don't have any other leads, you know, like your leads are 0 to none, and so like the only lead that you have now, at least like I would say, unless you have anything on your in your own mind, is the one that like you would come up with very quickly is like maybe this Feindar dude would know.
All right. The area where I had tracked her down to, Feindar and the people we were traveling with earlier, who we met at the well, they had just passed through. If we are heading that direction, they might know more.
I shouldn't have dropped my tongue and given it to you. Okay, then we need to go, and we need to go now to catch them before they leave to wherever it is that they're going. So, I don't care if it's going to be nighttime soon. We need to leave because we
Right,
can't waste any time. Helio went back to the tree, and Yuri's down there with Vethir. I was about to call her Vethra. Vethir.
Ooh.
Really quick, while you guys are pondering what to do, Helio, I will say that it's going to be mostly clear for the next couple days. Not much rain or anything in the forecast. Since you're in Rosalentar, it's all fog all the time. Like, pretty much every day is fog. And, like, kind of, like, you know, muggy, kind of hot, with, like, cool nights, you know, kind of cloudy. But that's sort of what you get with your, like, weather check. Weather forecast with Helio.
Alright, then Helio would say goodbye to the tree. Yes, yeah.
Which one of us is gonna tell Yuri we're leaving?
I look at Helio.
He won't talk to me.
He won't talk to me.
Fuck. Okay.
Oh, God.
Helio,
Oh,
I put like one finger on Helio's shoulder. I blame you for so much of this.
I'm just gonna go find Yuri.
He just sparkles a little bit extra.
She flips him off as she walks away.
I
Helio,
also...
are you making up?
I just want to note that when you put your finger on Helio's shoulder, and like it kind of like makes Helio bob a little bit in the air, like a bunch of like a good sprinkling of fairy dust will just kind of like poof out, you know, and kind of like sprinkle down on the ground after you kind of like forcefully kind of like plant your finger on his shoulder. Anyways, keep going. That's it. That's all I want to note it.
I like to imagine Finch just always has a layer of glitter somewhere on her body, just by nature.
don't we all?
I was just going to ask Helio, are you making up for the years that you were stuck in a library by doing all of this?
Library, glass case,
Mm,
wooden box,
mm,
lead box,
mm,
Yes.
weird
Yes
shocky
is the word you're
box.
looking for.
mm.
Then
I.
big stone box. So yeah, no, maybe.
Mm.
Hey, Helio.
You know, I
Speaking of, you're talking of your history right now. Quickly make me a history check while you're doing that.
Okay. I feel like he would have been contained in several different boxes at some point, many points in his life.
Oh no, that's not what this history check is about. You were in a lot of different boxes. Boxes are, you know, you're accustomed to box living at this point. This is for a different thing. Yeah, nothing. Okay, keep going. Nothing. You don't realize the ramifications of what has happened today. Keep
There's
going.
one really weird box that I could kind of see through, but wasn't able to see. It was a whole thing. He just tuned himself. into the background. Follow along.
I'm gonna, as daintily as I can, try to do the thing on Helio and like, with like little kids, you like, put your hand through their hair and like shake it, just be like, "Oh, you." I'm gonna try to do that to Helio because it's like I can't be bad at you because you're fey like me, so I understand your heart, but we're gonna have to tame that just a little bit.
Alright, fun's over, no more fun. Now we have to go to the Yuri situation with, now we have, no more fun. Fun's over, that's it. I ban fun for the rest of the session. Fun has been banned.
Oh wait, before I go up to Yuri, what did the roll on the chicken table do? Is it just an egg?
Yeah, it's just,
Oh, God.
it's just an egg. It's just an egg, but it's an egg that looks normal for now.
Motivational egg. I've got this.
Yeah. Now over to
You're just gonna kill me.
destroyed. Now that we're done dealing in fairyland, quite literally, let's come back to the real world where real consequences are happening.
Oh, God. So is Finch going to go speak to Yuri right now?
That's what I got the impression of.
Helio is going to cast guidance.
Aww. It's just still flipping Helio off.
Good luck. He acts like he grabs it and puts it in his pocket.
It's the tree, guys. It's the tree. That's what she's trying to do. It looks like the tree. If you middle finger looks like the
Yeah.
tree. That's what it looks
For
like.
you.
There we go.
Hey. I love the tree too.
That's the tree's the gang sign. All right, go do your thing. Go do your thing.
Yuri,
Yes.
I'm sorry about all of this. And Vesmer. Bethier. Bethier, I'm so sorry about all of this. I don't know what happened.
Make me a deception check, though it won't be very high.
Yeah, where are we at? What are we doing when Finch
I would
approaches?
say, you guys are. She's not really moving around. She's kind of just like, because she lived in the top level of that tavern, and like the bottom level's inhospitable. The top level it's such an angle now where you can't live there.
The stables that she pointed out when we first got into town, where she keeps her horse.
Oh,
Can we go there?
Yeah,
Or is that uprooted?
you could take her there. Yeah, no, that would work.
Okay, we'll go there.
I'll say that Finch will catch you as you're kind of like walking over there, just for like brevity's sake. That deception check with the 10 is good enough. She will buy you. She buys that you don't know anything. And she won't say anything to you. She'll just kind of like with a very sad look on her face, just kind of like gesture over to the tavern into the village, and she'll just kind of say, "I guess I have to start all over."
Yeah, it sucks. I've started over before. It's great when you get there, but it's a bitch of a walk. I'm so sorry about all this. Here, and I'll give her just all the money in my pockets. It's
Okay.
5 gold and 31 copper.
Okay.
We have party funds. It's okay.
All right. Let me write that down.
It is generally all I have, and I know it is not much, but you need it more.
She'll like, and Yuri, you'll recognize like this smile. It's the same smile she gave you last night at multiple points. It's like a big, wide smile, and she'll try to replicate it, but it's not the same. And you kind of see like the lip quivering a little bit as she does it, and she gives the big smile, and she says like, "Oh, thank you so much. Thank you," and she'll like very graciously pocket it and sort of like give you like a nice little like bow, and kind of like just continue waddling alongside Yuri.
I hate to do this, but Yuri, we need to go. The situation is not good.
Yuri just sort of looks down at you and cocks his head to the side. And then he just looks at the inn, and then at the tree, and then
know.
back at you. No,
I know.
Do you know? Do you know who did that? And he looks like super like hurt for a second. Like he like literally looks like he's about to like cry. Just for half a second. Swallows it. And sort of just keeps looking at you.
Yeah. I know. That doesn't change the situation we're in. Lady A is gone, and the world is still in danger. What happened here? We already know that what is happening in the grand scheme of things is a fucking hole in the sky. It could be much worse than this. I know you and I know what this was. That's not that, but it could be if we don't stop it.
Side note, have you found Lady A yet, or does Yori know what's going on with that whole situation?
No, we have not found her.
Okay. So, I'm just gonna ask. So have you found Lady Agatha yet? Is Helio still up the tree? So I just
No.
feel like he'll just sigh and he'll look back at Vathra, and he just sort of like looks helpless for a second, like he has no idea how to.
I feel like that's a euphemism for something. Is Helio still up the
I'm
tree?
gonna make a chat, or maybe I'll just.
For a gesture.
Helio's with Vesper. They're getting ready to go. Lady A, I tracked her as far as I could. I don't know where she is. We think we might be able to find out more information from the other Zyma guy. The situation is bad, and we really need to go. I know you're leaving behind an equally bad situation, but if we don't act now, the situation for everyone could get much worse.
I don't mean to be rude, Finch, but because I currently like you the most out of, well, looks back at Vathra, second most out of everybody in this town. But why would I want to keep going with you?
I honestly can't give you a good reason. The world is in danger. We are kind of fucked. We have a dragon that hates us. Our traveling companion is missing. Our other one has fucked us over on more than one occasion. There's a prophecy out there that someone I consider a friend is involved in. And
he's just nodding and like making a, yeah, keep going, I know, motion.
I can't give you a better reason to continue with us than that you can make that all go away. You want the problems that are facing this world to stop, you need to stop them. There is a genuine threat out there. It will reach here. There's no hiding from it, there's no running from it, there's only stopping it. If you want to stay here, I won't hold that against you. You have every right to hate us, you have every right to want to be here where it's better. But it will eventually find you.
Oh my god, so I don't know, can I ask for some sort of persuasion check? And also, how is Vathra doing while all this is happening? Is yours genuinely torn on how he should do what he should do?
I'll say that she'll go ahead of you, and she'll kind of like go and because she just wants to sleep at this point. She doesn't really want to like deal with anything, and she'll kind of like go on ahead and let you talk, but yeah, that's her situation, I would say. And you can, if you want, and if you want a persuasion check or something that can be accomplished. But I would I guess, since this is very important, I would think about it more in terms of, like, not really a dice roll, but just, like, is Yuri persuaded? You know, like, you gotta think, like, I guess, like, I don't know, because, like, there's a lot of good points on both sides, man. I'm just saying, like, there's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a tough choice.
Yeah. I know.
You're making probably the hardest choice that has been made in this entire campaign. So I'm just gonna let you figure that one out. I do not want to get in the way of that at all.
So, yes persuasion, no persuasion.
I mean, I guess roll and see what we'll just see what happens, I guess. I genuinely don't know. Out of character, I don't see any reason for him, after everything that's happened, complicated thought process, after the tree thing, I think that was his last straw, honestly. I think he's just devastated, and now this other person is sad because of some random thing that happened that didn't need to happen, and he's just kind of not a character that was built for adventuring in the beginning, and he's just, yeah, he needs a little more time to process this.
I will say,
honestly.
I will say that.
Fucking hell, though.
I have a plus 11 to persuasion. I am a bard. What do you anticipate?
I will say really quickly that, like, from what little you know and from what little you've seen of the outside world, like, Finch's, like, warning that, like, it will find you rings very true. And something about, like, when she says those words, like, no matter, like, how long you stay here, you know, like whatever, like, those words specifically, like, I will say that those words will continuously echo in your mind. Like, that is a very poignant, like, I was going to point something out, like, that, like my omnipotent God voice was going to say that, but she said it for me already, so I don't need to. But I just would like to reiterate, like, you've seen what like great evil powers have, like, done, and you saw Ardeep Forest, you saw what happened to it, you saw what happened to Nightstone, you know, like, evil will find a way, you know.
Okay. Vethor walked off, right?
She's not with you. She'll like go into that stable with the with her horse, and she will just kind of like go in there and hang out. And by hang out, I mean probably sob.
Okay. So you're not helping this situation.
Oh,
I know what Yuri does.
I'm not here to help. Me? Help? No. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to make it as grueling as possible.
So
I
since
want
Yuri
this
doesn't
to
know.
be like pulling teeth.
Rude. So Yuri is standing in the middle of the street, and he actually, I think, genuinely just looks very uncomfortable. He literally stamps his foot like a toddler, and you can see that he's trying not to rage and flip the fuck out. And he cries a little bit. Do we have to leave now?
Honestly, yes. There's guards coming, and we don't know how far away Lady A is, and we don't know how soon this threat is going to be upon us. I hate that this is how you leave, and if you do choose to, I support you regardless, but we need to go. There is a problem we need to solve before it comes and fucks us all over.
Yuri will turn around and run as fast as I can away, very quickly, grab my maul or whatever, all my shit that I had, I guess, in the barn, very awkwardly kiss Vethor on the head, and then run away, and then run back. And I'm just openly crying again as we go out of town.
Okay. All right. Works for me. Man, should we just end it there? That'd be a poignant ending, wouldn't it?
Yes.
That would be a poignant ending.
Oh
That would
my
be like,
God.
Oh, that
That
would be a stinger. That would be like, oh my goodness, tune in next
Ah,
week. Oh,
no.
Oh my
please
God.
no.
that would be quite the stinger, wouldn't it, gang? Oh my goodness.
Please,
Quite
please
the
no.
stinger. Quite the stinger. Oh, but nobody's ever
Oh,
that
man.
That was
fortunate.
crazy.
Nobody's man. Oh man. Z.
I really want to do something, but then I also don't want to do something.
Z, I do not envy the situation you were put in, and oh my god,
I'm
holy
Oh.
shit, dude. Oh, wow.
It happened
level
so
5.
fast too. It happened so fast. Like I felt like the whole episode was building up to like Yori being fine with everything that was happening, and then this one thing was like, fuck.
Man, it just had to be.
Damn it,
It
why
had
the
to be.
beans? It's hilarious, but why the beans? This
I
fucked
feel like-
everything.
This entire session is a thanks Obama, but thanks Helio.
Oh my.
I will say at this point, if you guys want to take a 5-minute break, we'll take a 5-minute break because this will be a good point to kind of like take a break. But I also will
Yeah.
say, holy shit, oh my god. I mean, like, oh man, the temptation to end it here is very strong, but I don't think I will.
I'm so sorry for whatever encounters you had planned.
No, this is much better. This is much better.
Interparty drama, so much fun.
Oh, this is
We're
DM
never
eating
getting back to the
popcorn
story.
behind the screen.
I'm glad that I have
Loving
this
it.
session on recording. I'm glad that this is the first one we're recording because this is a good first showing. I mean, like if somebody stumbles
God.
upon this upon YouTube,
We can hear that you're grinning. We can hear you grinning.
oh,
I don't
I'm
like it
sure
personally.
that you can. I mean, like,
Enjoying
I'm
this.
just sitting here. I'm just sitting here, like, man, he had a 1 in 8
Oh my
chance. He had a 1 in 8
God.
chance to kind of like. There was a 2 in 8 chance of him completely destroying this village, and
Crazy.
he got the big tree. That's it.
Crazy.
And the big
There you
tree,
go.
the
Oh
big,
my God.
the big tree, everyone. All right, well, yeah, take a
Earned
5-minute
cookies.
break.
I'm gonna go get a cookie.
Yeah, everybody's earned a break. Everybody's earned a nice 5-minute break. So stay if you wish, leave if you want, do whatever you want.
I mean, personally, I'm exhausted. I'm falling asleep on my floor right now, so I'm gonna go to bed. And
You wanna
fill
call
me
it
in on
here?
what-
because we can call it
That's
here.
up to you guys. You guys can keep going on whatever is going on. I'll just say he's catatonic and crying. As sad as that is.
Okay, all right, that's good to know. Because there's one more. There is
Oh,
depending
no.
on the decisions depending on the decision. I guess the only thing I'll have you stick around for after this break, for sure, is where we're going next. Because I just need to 100% know where we're going next, and then beyond that, then we'll see where we go from there. All right.
And in retrospect, I should have used my token before I gave Finch a new token.
Yeah, well, you know, hindsight's 2020. Hindsight's
Yeah.
2020. What can you do when a giant tree grows in the middle of a small town? Not much.
I'm just assuming this, but in the time that Finch was gone, and in the time that Vesper, Helio, and Yuri were in Rassalantar, Vesper would have heard them talk about the thing that occurred in the sky? Or at least people
Oh yeah,
talking
I mean
about
you'd
it?
see it, and I mean you'd probably hear
Oh,
people
it's
talking
still
about
there?
it. It's still there. Yeah, no, it's
Oh,
still
okay.
it's still
I
there.
missed that part.
As the sun sets, you'll see it. It's bright.
Okay. That entire section, my dad came in my room and I was talking to him about something and I completely missed whether or not it was still there.
No,
So-
you're chill. It's still there.
Okay.
I was gonna
Okay.
get to that when we reconvened here in a second.
What's that?
I'm asking about the rip in the sky. Is that
Oh
is that
yeah.
is that something that any of us would be like?
We're getting there. We're getting there. Hold
Okay.
your horses. Hold your horses.
Okay, I just didn't know if we had to intentionally ask for it to roll for it, but
We're getting there. We're getting there. I'm just as excited to destroy the world as you are.
oh man, am I ever?
I hope that Z comes back because I need Z.
Where'd they go?
I think Z said they were going to bed.
Oh
Oh.
no.
And
Womp womp.
I think that we need them for one more interaction really quick. And I'm hoping that my Discord messages will go through.
Did he say that he'd be back or he's going to bed?
It was kind of vague. I was unclear. And
He said he was going to bed, and then Charlie's like, well, we do need you for one more thing. But then he never said anything back after.
yeah, so I don't know if he got the message or not, but
Didn't they say they were sick?
yeah, they
Yeah.
are sick. The whole arm thing. I guess I will for this one scene. I will fill in the bare minimum for Yuri, and this will inform our future course of action here.
Out of character question: is Lady A generally just gone?
I'll let. I mean, Shady.
You don't know.
Shady. That's Shady's question. That's not mine.
You don't know.
I'm not fielding any questions at this time.
I generally want to know, and I know I don't know because I don't know, is if the whole Lady Agatha missing was going to happen even if the tree didn't happen. That's what I want to know, but I know I don't know because I don't know.
Let's be real. The tree ate her.
The tree ate her.
The tree caused everything. It's all the trees.
It's the tree. Okay, Z has responded saying, pretty much, I have been given free reign to play Yuri in this scene, so that's okay. We can do that. Okay, alright, so, as you guys leave town, unless there's anything else going once, going twice, is there anything else we want to do in this town? Is there any more chaos, and do we want to destroy this town any further? Going once, going twice, sold. Okay, so, as you guys crest
done
over...
enough.
As you guys crest over the hill that looks down upon this town from the north, and you see, man, I wish that Z was here because I was gonna paint the picture of you see the light flickering in the stables where Vethier is, and
Aww.
oh no,
Aw.
but
My
whatever.
beloved girlfriend.
Well, he'll hear it in post, so that's okay. I guess maybe he won't. I don't know. But regardless, yeah, you'll see the lights flickering in the town, and you'll kind of see like the tree is there. It's big, and it's at this point when I guess me as Yuri will bring up like, so where do we want to go now? Like, what's the plan?
We're going north to, what was it? Amphale?
Thumbs up.
Hmm?
That's the one.
Amphale. We're going to Amphale. We're going to find Feindar and Awen. Because Feindar may know where Lady Agatha has gone if Zyma has spoken to her about something.
Okay. And my next question, as Yuri, would be, what about the whole Harshnag, destroy the world, Golden Fields thing?
Yeah, that is definitely on all of our minds. And once we get Lady Agatha, we will go there. But I'm also worried if Lady Agatha had gone there intentionally. But, I mean, can't really choose. Even if she didn't go to Golden Fields, we would at least need her help to take care of stone giants.
Okay.
So Feindar first. That's why we're leaving now. And we're going to try to do this quickly.
And the only other thing Yuri will do for the rest of the session is we'll pull out a paper given to him by Vethier. And upon reading it, it says, like, it's, you unravel it as a scroll, and it is basically like an all-expenses paid trip to the Rosalintar Farmers Market, which takes place for the next 10 days. And it advertises, like, the greatest, like, people, like vendors and, like, artisans and things like that coming from all over the long road, like selling their wares and kind of like things like that. And like it kind of advertises different guests and things being there on different days and like things like that. It's just like oh look, this is a fun thing. But as per Yuri's request, as per Z's request, I mean, Yuri will now be inconsolably crying for the rest of the session. So that
Accurate.
sounds right to me.
Yeah, sounds right.
So we will do a little bit of fun in Amphale, and then we'll call it a session, I think. But let me move you guys over to. Well, actually, nah, we don't. You guys are just taking the road, right? You guys aren't going off and doing anything weird.
I mean,
Oh,
following her footprints, if they're still there until we can't follow them anymore and assume where they're going.
I will say that they follow the exact center of this road, like perfectly the exact center the entire way, and then as the mud transitions into a dry, silty soil, it kind of just, like, the footprints kind of just gradually go away. They kind of become fewer and far between, limited to sort of, like, mud puddles and, like, the occasional, like, like, bit of bog that is kind of spilled over into this craggy area, but there aren't many footprints after a certain point, after about halfway up the road.
Going, like, north to Amphale, they're not going, like, northeast towards Golden Fields.
They're going straight up the road.
Okay. Then we just keep following that until we get to Amphale, hoping Feindar and Awen are still in Amphale.
Okay. All right. Oh, shoot. Z's not going to be here because I was also going to say I was going to say, dang, before, that was the other thing I was going to say during, after the break. Whatever, I'll get that to them as well. You guys are leveled up, by the way. Hey, dealing with that emotional conflict has leveled you guys up. You guys feel stronger.
Level 6.
But that can be done after the session. Don't worry. You guys aren't going to run anything too wild here. This is just some fun flavor stuff that I wanted to get at you. And also, there's some other important things here. But we'll see. Who knows? I don't know. Nothing. I don't know anything. Me? I don't know. Anyways. You guys arrive at Amphale. I would say you guys take a pretty brisk pace. You guys aren't stopping to, like, smell the flowers, and, like, catch fish and, like, ooh, look at this fun mushroom. You guys are booking it. And you guys get there, as the other, like as you guys come out on the other end of the night. You guys started leaving around dusk, and you come there around dawn. And I will say that it's like during this walk that you see, all of you now see the full, like, majesty probably isn't the right word, but it's the word I'm going to use. The full majesty, the full, like, awe-inspiring scale of this, like, rip in the sky. And again, it's about as bright as the moon. It's very large. It's about as, like, big, at least, like, in terms of space it takes up in the sky, as the tears that trail the moon. It is very, very, like, it's just this, like, it's so out of place and so bizarre that you don't even know what to make of it. But I will have all of you who are here make me Arcana checks. Or history checks. Or religion checks. Whatever you're comfortable with.
Oh.
Ooh. Yes. History or Arcana, they are the same.
You could try to persuade it if you want.
Can I try to persuade it?
You can't persuade the giant sky entity, unfortunately.
Can I so roll persuasion?
Go for it. Roll persuasion.
I want to flirt with the sky.
The sky thinks the sky is blushing at you, but
oh yeah.
Tell me your secrets, oh Sky.
I will say, all of you seldom know. Like you like, some of you guys can piece together, like, rumors and legends, but like, and you guys kind of discuss it amongst yourselves. But I will say nothing very fruitful comes from that discussion. Another thing I will note, though, is Helio, while you're going through these, like, legends and myths of, like, ooh, maybe, like, this is caused by, like, every 1,000 years, like, an extraplanar, like, dragon comes and blah, 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 something like that. You are thinking back to the conversation you had with Vesper a while ago about Vesper's magical focus. And it dawns on you, like, hey, wait a minute. The reason you think about it, and, like, you're like, hey, maybe the reason that magical focus wasn't, like, it seemed unnatural, and, like, it wasn't supposed to be here, and that it wasn't, like, attached to Vesper in a normal way, was perhaps because, like, you remember that Fae magical items tend to originally reject their owners because of their strong, like, willed sort of, like, attitude, and that kind of, like, that fact dawns on you just now. And I'll let you do with that what you will, but I will say that it only barely ties into, like, oh, there's potentially some, like Shanine Moonbow, she drops her moonbow from the sky once every 20,000 years, and somebody can find it. It's at the bottom of the crack or whatever. Like, that's the rumor you're telling, but then you remember that, and, there you go. But,
Okay.
fun side details aside, you guys stumble into Amphail as the sun is rising. And Finch, you see the same guard you saw last time. In fact, you see the guard changing shifts with the girl from last time. They're just changing shifts as you guys kind of come up over the hill and look down upon the village.
Oh, here we are.
Do we know that they stayed in this village, or that they were leaving?
I think they were leaving. We can ask her right now. She mentioned seeing the two of them. So neither of them has seen Lady A.
Okay, well, we can ask her.
Okay. I'm dying. Sorry, Yang. My medicine is wearing off, so that's why. But you come down the hill and they see you coming, and Finch, you were disguised self when you talked to this lady the first time, right?
Yeah. This is just
okay.
normal Tiefling Finch, just kind of run down
Gotcha.
Tiefling Finch.
Okay. She'll she'll like look at you like very puzzlingly, like she almost recognizes you. Like, huh? Do I know this person? Maybe not. But you guys approach them, and they say like, "Hail, travelers!" And like they'll kind of like look at you like inquisitively, like, "Are you here for the farmers market, or are you here for some other purpose?"
We're searching for a friend. Well, several, I guess, friends. Have you seen a man who looks like he came from some sort of desert, and he was speaking about someone named Zyma? Possibly with a blue elf.
The guy will shrug, but then the minute you say blue elf, the girl will like hop up and she'll say like, "Ah, yes, the blue elf. I saw the blue elf, and I saw the weird looking dude. They came through town. They were just a bit too early for the farmers market, but they said that they would. They said that they really would hate missing it, but I don't know what happened to them."
They came through town, so they stayed or they left, and then they all come back.
She'll shrug and she'll say, "I don't know. I don't know if they stayed or if they left. I just know that I saw them. They're a very peculiar looking bunch, you know."
Okay. If someone were to stay in town, where would probably be the most likely place that they would stay?
She'll point to this big, odd-looking building down the street. Right, blah, 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 here, if you guys can see my pointer.
It's a snail.
Big snail-looking building. And she'll say, like, "Ah, that is the..." Give me a minute to pull up the name because I don't remember it. I have literally everything. Ah, the Staghorned Flagon. She will say, "That is the Staghorned Flagon, our prized tavern, and if somebody's staying in town, that's probably where they're going to be staying. But it's a bit crowded because of the whole farmers market thing. But I'm sure they can find you somewhere to sleep, somewhere."
Okay. I'm gonna turn to Finch and just say we can go there first, see if anyone has seen them. If not, I'm gonna split up and talk about this. They're going to come back for this farmers market, any other matter. So we will be able to see them when this starts. When does this start?
She says, well, it should be, it starts, I guess it started today, but, it goes on for a 10-day. And different, attractions and people will be here every single day. So, be sure to stay the entire 10-day, you never know what you'll find.
Okay. Then that means they should still be here. Let's go try that tavern. Thank you for your help. Ma'am, miss, person, thing. We need to go.
She will sleepily take her lantern and go home, and the other guard will assume the position. And are you guys going to the tavern?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I will say that as you guys go through the streets of this city, you guys see tons of, like, tents and stalls, all of them set up and, like, ready to go. And you might see some vendors and merchants are coming out early in the morning to kind of, like, get ready and, kind of, like, get things set. And some of them might kind of, like, call out to you, like, "Oh, get your carrots here. Carrots, 10 gold a pop." But not actually, 10 copper a piece, something like that. I don't know. People will call out to you attempting to sell, like, various sort of, like, kind of lame, non-magical, interesting things. But I would say none of them really catch your eye, and then you get to the square, and there's a big statue of a roaring dragon, and a guy, or not a roaring dragon, there's a big statue of a troll, being, like, torn in half by this, very, like, strong, muscular-looking paladin guy. And it just says, "Amphail the Just" underneath it. And that is that statue. And the tavern itself is just an odd-looking, kind of like cobbled-together building. And a small sign kind of hangs on the outside that says "Inn," and it is loud inside.
Go in.
Okay.
Go into the inn.
I have no map for this inn because it's not that important. But you guys go in, and it is definitely not the best inn you've ever seen, that's for sure. It's a little bit run down, a little bit, it's seen better days. But it is brimming with people. Even at this odd hour, it's like full of people drinking and talking, and amongst all the chaos and like the craziness, you see a very like outgoing, very like well-dressed man, or not a man, you see a well-dressed person. In my notes, here they are, a well-dressed half-elf, who is amongst all of them, and like they've got a big crowd around them, and they are like hucking knives at a like target on the wall, and after each knife throw, like they will land it like perfectly, like it will land on target, and like everybody will cheer and like hurrah, and like they'll like spill their drinks everywhere, like giving each other like super duper amazing, like oh my goodness, so good. And then they will do it again, and like the dagger will land like on like the butt of the last dagger, like perfectly, and they'll all cheer and hurrah, and they won't notice you come in. Nobody will even pay you any mind.
Looking around the room for Feindar or Awen.
It's a busy room. Make me a perception check or investigation.
I will do investigation.
Holy shit, that's that. Damn. Okay.
You are
Natural
very good at
20.
scanning this room, and you do not see any signs of Feindar or Awen. But you also remember that it is a very odd hour, and like it'd be weird to be up this early. Like it's an odd time. And so you think maybe they're asleep or something.
Can I see a person who could possibly have or be the owner of the place?
You look behind the bar and there's nobody there. But the person that seems to be commanding the most attention, and the person that seems to be like handing out drinks like they are like free candy, is this like very fancily dressed half elf hucking knives at the wall.
Okay. Well, 1, they're not in this room. 2, they might be in the building, just in their room asleep. 3, I don't see an owner, and I don't know if I'm quite charismatic enough to talk to this person, whoever this knife person is. So, I could really use suggestions. What do you guys want to do?
Puts a hand on, just kind of taps her on the shoulder. Don't worry about this. I'm gonna go walk up to the guy she pointed out.
Okie dokie, works for me. You walk up to him, and again, you just kind of like, he doesn't seem to pay much attention to you. He might like look over at you for a second, just kind of like, oh, that's like a person that looks like not a human, but they won't stop for very long, and they'll continue their little routine of like they take a knife from like one of the audience members, or just from like a hilt, or like a belt loop, and they'll like steady their hand and like close one eye and like kind of like feel it for a moment, and then like throw it at the wall, and like it will land like perfectly on a target. Like he'll kind of declare a target and it will land perfectly there every single time.
I'm just immediately offended that this man did not give her immediate immense amount that no one around her is giving her immediate attention. She's just immediately mad at that, but she is going to suppress that rage for a moment and just kind of walk up to him and just kind of leaning close. Sorry, we're new here. Do you by any chance know the owner?
They will turn, they'll spin around, and like they've got this very like fancy flowing coat on, almost like styled after like a pirate captain. And they'll turn and they'll face you, and they'll hop off like the table like they were standing on, and they will look at you and they will say, "Hi, welcome to my tavern, friend. I am Frath Shamblestar, the child of the person that used to own this tavern. My dear father, though he passed away ages ago, left me this wonderful establishment and taught me his amazing skills of knife throwing. I'm sure you've heard of me."
Have I?
No.
Of course. I'm sorry I didn't recognize you. Sure. As a fellow entertainer, you must know who I am.
He'll very casually, one thing he'll do is as he's talking to you and everybody's kind of like keeping an eye on the conversation, like watching, he'll take his hand and like just behind him he'll throw a dagger kind of like over his shoulder, kind of like, oh whoops, I threw a dagger, and it will perfectly again hit a target. And everybody will like lose their minds for a minute as he does this. And after he's kind of like, after the applause kind of settle down, he will look at you and he'll say like, you must be, and then he thinks, and then he eventually, you see a little light bulb go off in his head, and he says, you are from the Dawn Chorus, am I not mistaken?
We are right. I am Goldfinch.
He'll jump up and down and he'll say like, a famed entertainer then a famed entertainer. Probably almost on my level, I'm sure. But come, what is it you need me for, friend?
She's resisting to the urge to stab this man, but she'll follow him. Our friends have gone missing. There's troubles, with the adventure life. But have you seen a blue elf and a man that looks like he's from the desert? If not either of them, a large, muscular woman with blonde hair. Probably talking about someone named Zyma. Most definitely very self-righteous.
He will, hold up 3 fingers, and for each person, he'll, put a knife in between each finger. And he'll say, well, a blue elf, now that does seem familiar. And, you'll see off in the corner of your eye, you'll see a half-elf wearing, all blue, like a blue coat. And he'll take the knife in between his fingers and huck it over his shoulder, and it will land right above the half-elf's head. And then again, everybody will lose their minds, blue elf, get it? He's wearing blue. Oh my god, isn't this guy a comedic genius? And he'll say but now that you mention it, I have seen a blue elf. Very peculiar was their story, coming from the bottom of the sea. That can't be possible. But yes, they did come through along with the man from the desert. And as he does this, he'll take his dagger, and though he does not have anybody in here that looks like they came from a desert, he will just throw it above the fireplace at a painted target, and again it will perfect bullseye. Everyone loses their minds, although a little bit less so because it's not wow, blue elf. But then you'll the third one, he'll hold the knife in his hand and he'll look, and he'll look at it and he'll see his reflection in it. It's very shiny. Think and say no, I haven't seen any muscular women saying anything about Zybo. That's not something I've seen. And you'll kind of see he smiles at the knife with his big pointed teeth, and he kind of picks something out of his mouth a little bit, and then sheaths the knife as if to put a lid on the conversation. And they'll turn to you and they'll say, no, never met anyone in my life that fits that description. I guess aside from your standard paladin sort.
Shame. The elf from the sea, they're a friend of ours. We're hoping to catch up to them before we set off. Are they here?
He'll look around and he'll he's kind of trying to keep the crowd as interested in this conversation as possible, desperately trying. And he says, oh yeah, they told me they were on the hunt for a dragon, of all things. Bizarre as that may seem, who would want to hunt a dragon? I may be brave, but even I don't know if I'm brave enough to take on a dragon. But they seemed insistent, and though I don't know where a dragon was, one of the vendors in town, they seemed to have some idea of a dragon that lived up north, and that's where they seem to have gone.
Oh, if Lady A is there, I'm gonna fucking kill her.
I mean, I feel like this does match her.
Yes. Finch is gonna go from just a really polite grin to a pure homicidal energy look back to a polite grin in the snap of a second, and just say, well, can't thank you enough for this information. I'd love to stay and play, but oh, well, it's a tragedy. I must go find my friend. I think they're going to face a dragon alone, and the last time we fought a dragon, it didn't go so well. You know how it is.
He will he'll smile and he'll take the like another dagger out. Not the one that like he'll make a point not to use the one that like refers to Lady A, but a different one. And he'll huck it at the wall and it will knock a drum loose and it will kind of like fall down and bounce through the tavern, and he'll catch it with like his foot and kind of kick it up towards him, and he'll say, "Come on, surely you have time for one song."
I really want to steal that drum. Oh, I want to steal so much stuff from this man. I don't like him. Finch is morally opposed to theft, but she really fucking hates this guy. Finch will, like, quickly turn to Vesper and just, like, slowly be pulling out her violin.
We really need to find Lady Agatha. We need to find that vendor.
I will say that like as you reach for the violin, crowd like loves it. They're like, hell yeah, this famous musician that this guy knows is gonna like play a duet with our dude. Like, that's insane. Can't wait.
Now it's a party.
Now it's a party. It wasn't
Just
before.
here, it's a party.
Yeah, it wasn't before with the knife throwing. That was cool and all, but now that there's music and potentially knife throwing while there's music, that's the new hotness, and everybody's losing it.
I'm just gonna whisper message to Vesper. I'm sorry, I love Lady A. I'm an attention whore. Please go talk to the vendor, and I'm gonna start playing the violin.
Okay, all right, and the second you do, crowd loves it. They are totally digging it, and I will say, over the course of this performance, you get showered with money. Like, the people that are here, rich folk as well. You know, like, you're playing to a rich crowd. They kind of look a little bit rough around the edges because they've been traveling for so long, but this is a rich crowd. They're here to buy pretty expensive stuff, you know, like copious amounts of food for villages. You get showered in, I would say, 6 gold pieces, 27 silver, and 13 copper.
Alright. I'm gonna just at the end of my one of the songs just hold up my violin and yell out very loudly, "If you all want to show something truly strange and weird, just a town beyond here, a magical tree of unknown origins has sprouted up, in a tavern even. I could only imagine what it's like to stay there now."
They will all like ooh and ah, and the owner, Frath, will look at you with like a sour little like scowl.
No better than this place, of course.
And after you say that, then he'll like smile and nod, like, "Ah, yeah, good. Yeah, he'll treat you to whatever food or drink that you ask for. He will like give you like the like A class performance. Like, he will even like go so far as to offer to like kick someone out of a room should it mean like you staying there. He is like very, very like he like talks to you about like you know, just like general bard things, and he kind of like, you know, like shares like some of his magical, like he tells you like, oh, you know, I've practiced magic, my father was a great musician, you know, blah 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 blah. But as he's doing all of this, Vesper, hey, you've been told to look for a merchant, a vendor.
Yeah.
You go outside, and though it's early morning, again, there's vendors, a lot of them, lining the streets.
Sweet. He gave no indication as to which vendor said this to them.
He didn't give any indication at the time, and
Cool.
Finch definitely didn't give any indication in her message.
Sweet. Well, darn. Then I'm there would be no indication on like or like of a person or their wow, I really can't English today. Their setup, their thing. I don't know, what do you call the vendor's the
Stall?
thing.
Like a...
Stall!
There you go.
There you go. I really can't talk today. There's no indication about a person or their stall that would make me think that they are local versus from out of town.
So you can discern that, generally speaking, the more exotic something is, the more, like, the further away they came from. You know, like, you can, like, you know, food, you can get that from all, like, you know, this is like the breadbasket of, like, the Sword Coast. So, like, you know, you see any foods, you're like, that they're probably just from around, like, the local area, you know. But anybody that's a peculiar race, even as odd as, like, a dwarf, you know, like, a dwarf would stick out in this crowd a little bit, you know, like, they're all, like, half-elves, wood elves, and humans, pretty much, like, with very little deviation. I would say that a lot of the, like, most of them stick out as local, but there are a few. Like I said, I would say there's a dwarven vendor selling, like, very fine dwarven like plate mail and things like that. You would see a dragonborn with blue scales, kind of selling, like, what look like scrolls and things. And you would see a tiefling as well that looks a little bit peculiar.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm going to approach an elf first, just because of familiarity. Whichever one I think looks the most local, and pretend I'm looking at their stuff until, like, I gather their attention if there are people at the stall. I mean, it is early morning. There are no people out here, is there?
There's not many, no.
No. Okay. Yeah, then I'll just go to an elf and just ask if they're from Amphail, if they're familiar with the area, or if...
You will approach a stall. You know, there's a wood elf. You'll assume, like, okay, wood elf, you know, that's probably, like, the best bet. You go, and a wood elfin man with a kind of, like, goatee kind of thing turns around, and he looks at you, and he says, like, are you looking to buy something? And then he hears your question about the being local or not, and he says, like, yes, I was raised just south of here, in a small little farming homestead.
Oh. So you're not familiar with the area north of Amphail?
He kind of, like, scratches his head, and he says, like, no, I know that there's, like, the Westwood, I know about that, but I've only ever been there once or twice myself on, like, hunting trips and things.
Oh. Well, I just came from the inn right up the road there, and there was this very charismatic man who mentioned this very interesting story about a possible dragon that lives up north. Have you heard of that?
He'll scratch his head and he'll say, like, no dragons that live around here. I mean, there probably are some creepy crawlies that live up in the Sword Mountains, but that's not really to the north.
Do you know of any vendor here that would know anything about this dragon? I mean, I'm always, you know, a sucker for a good story.
He'll smile and he'll kind of, like, chuckle, and he'll say, like, well, if you're looking for somebody that's from really far up north, that dwarf, I hear he's out of Mirabar. That's, you know, that's further than, like, Waterdeep is from here. He says that as though Waterdeep is, like, 1,000,000 miles away. And he says, like, well, that's further than Waterdeep is from here. That's you know, it's a huge distance away. It's beyond Neverwinter even. And I could never even dream of going there. So I'm sure that he might know something.
I will ask him. Thank you for your help. These items are very marvelous. I may come back later. Thank you. And I walk off.
Okay, alright. Yeah, you go over to the dwarf's stall, and the dwarf has this big stone stall, like set up. And it's odd because, like, you know, all the other stalls are made of wood or, like, carts, you know. the fact that they transported this like well carved stone all the way down here just to set up this kind of dinky looking stall. It's like a small little forge with like a very like nice looking anvil. It's like a coppery color. The fact that it's all set up like this is very peculiar, and it's being manned by, there's one older dwarf and there's a younger apprentice dwarf who is like, you know, working the forge, and the two of them are kind of like preparing some very nice looking weapons and armor.
Before I get to their stall, I'm gonna cast Comprehend Languages, just so that I could speak Dwarvish to him to hopefully appeal to him.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do that.
Thank you. And really quick, I lied. I just was rereading my notes and I lied about something. Hey, remember when I said there's a tiefling earlier? It's not a tiefling.
Yeah.
It's an Eladrin. Sorry, lied about that.
Treachery.
My people. Cool. So I'll go to the dwarf and I guess I'll speak to him. And do I have to hear the language before I'm able to speak it?
You understand the language?
Because it says you understand the literal meaning of any spoken language that you hear. I can't speak Dwarvish, can I?
No, you can't speak it.
Okay, that's tongues. That's what it is. Okay, never mind. Well, do I still want to cast this, or do I not want to cast this then? Never mind. I won't cast it. Just kidding. I need that other spell. Eldritch Knights, you need better spells. Okay, I'll go up to the Dwarvish person and...
Okay. Yeah, so you'll go up to him, and he'll kind of like, he'll greet you, and this is where I would do my dwarf voice, which is actually really good, but God, I'm dying of disease, so I will do it next session, I promise, but this session I will not. He'll look at you, and he'll say like, lassie, what is it you desire? Are you here for our wonderful wares from far up north from Mirabar?
You know, the items look very charming, but I'm more interested in a possible story you might have. I was told by a different vendor that since you are from up north, I heard tale of a possible dragon that lives up north. And
he'll like looking like he's ready to tell a good story. He'll stroke his beard and he'll say like, yes, Imrith, the blue dragon of the north, terrorizes the mines of Mirabar, and the city itself from time to time. But it's been held off very fiercely by the wonderful dwarves up north multiple times, and even Bruenor Battlehammer managed to get a couple swings in during a particularly riveting battle of Mithril Hall off to the northeast. But are there any particular tales you'd like to hear about this foul beast?
I guess just really of its abilities and any tale of anyone who has fought the dragon.
He'll regale you of Imarith, the blue dragon of the north, that is this like sort of like a specter. Like it like the dragon very rarely reveals itself, and when it does, always has a purpose behind its like attacks or its like dealings. And it seems to command both lightning and snow as if it were like just like water in like the palm of someone's hand. This dragon, she travels the north, and she like raids villages and collects like a hoard of treasure, all in service of this world-ending goal. Like he says it's like the destruction of the dwarven kind, and like the capturing of the mines of Mirabar, which have this like very like wonderful metal. And he goes on and on about about how it's to destroy the dwarven people, but you kind of get that that's more like a dwarven addition to the legend, and that's not really like the whole story.
So she only stays up north in the spine. She never comes down this far south?
He says, that's what she does to make you feel safe. But every once in a while, every once in a blue moon, she can be found in the Sword Mountains. But even then, she's as deadly as ever, despite not having snow on her side. Lightning is just as powerful.
Okay.
But he will
Nice.
add, she is normally at the spine of the world, and she calls the area around the Great Worm Cavern her home.
And there's hasn't been rumor that she has been seen in the Sword Mountains recently?
He'll nod, like, no, there hasn't been any rumors. He says that the last time she was seen, she was fighting giants at the spine of the world, I think around Raven Rock, but I'm not entirely sure. Those giants and Uthgardt barbarians and I think goblins and just all manner of hideous monster.
I've also heard that giants have made their way towards Golden Fields. Have you heard anything about this?
He'll like rock back and forth and he'll say like, well, the giants they've been acting up all over the place, and like, you know, getting down here was a challenge. You know, we ran into a giant ourselves, but luckily my apprentice, she's very good you know, at combat. I'm too old for that kind of thing, but she took it down single-handedly, and so it wasn't any serious issue.
Well, brava to her.
He will kind of just like, you know, smile, and he'll say like, that's my girl. She never disappoints.
Well, I am currently here in town with other friends, so I will wait until things start opening up more, and I'll maybe bring some friends along here. But I thank you for the story.
He will smile and like seem like this, like having told you the story was as good as selling something to him, and he like smiles, and you get that look on his face, and he gives you like a big wide, like, you know, like smile, and like a friendly sort of like, you know, like, oh, come back, you know, if you ever want to hear anything, or if your friends want to hear the story, you know, like, please find your way back. But he just turns around and kind of goes back to like polishing armor.
Okay, I'm gonna make my way back to the inn, but I want to like take a little side route to just kind of check out the Eladrin that I saw and just be like, my people.
You will see a winter Eladrin.
Even better.
He is there. He is sort of like he's got a like nice leather chair in front of him, and he has all kinds of different instruments, of which you've never seen like their kind before. They're very odd, and lots of magical scrolls and tomes and books, and it's just it's all very peculiar.
Okay. I have been overly persuaded. I'm going to go up to this man and just say, "Hail, friend. Oh, it's so good to see someone from home."
He will like spin around really quickly, and the second you mention home and the second he sees you, he like lights up as though he's seeing an old family friend, and he like you'll see he like disappears into like a puff of like snow, and you'll see like some snow kind of like drifts to the ground, and he'll teleport right next to you, and he'll like kind of go in for like a friendly like elven hug, and he'll say like, like friend, oh my goodness, it's so rare to see another one of our kind so far from home. What is it you're doing here in this god awful little town?
Yes, I'm currently looking for another friend who seems to have gone missing. Currently, we're trying to gather some information about where she might have gone. I don't know if you might have seen her or one of the other two. Our friend, she's quite tall. I believe taller than me, or about the same height. Long blonde hair, carries a hammer. Always speaks about this goddess named Zyma. If not, there are other two individuals, a sea elf and a man with darker skin, also talking about Zyma.
His ears will perk up when you mention the sea elf, but he will nod his head at all three, and he will seem as though he's like disinterested. He does not really want to talk about the whole like the goings on. And he says like, oh, if I concerned myself with all the dirty goings on of this plane, I'd run myself ragged. I like to keep myself concerned with what goes on at home, and I struggle to find any serious, I'm here simply on business and to hone my craft. That is it.
And what is your craft?
He pulls out a wand and he waves it around. And he kind of hovers it over his skin, and you can see that his skin is as he rolls back a sleeve, is covered in tattoos. And he shows you, and he says, I craft magical tattoos. I've been taught by some of the best in the world. In fact, somebody from this plane, Olshana, she was very, very helpful in teaching me. But people from home as well have been teaching me all about these kinds of things. And imbuing magic into these things, into these tattoos, is one of my favorite pastimes. And I come and I sell my wares at these markets every once in a while for a hefty price, of course.
That sounds amazing. They look beautiful, and they must be worth such an expensive price to have one.
He will he'll smile, and he's got a big toothy smile, and his smile when he bares his teeth, you can see bits of ice crystals kind of dot his teeth a little bit, they'll kind of melt in his mouth a little bit, and you'll kind of see every once in a while he'll kind of seem as though he's not really chewing on an ice cube or something, but that kind of sensation. And it's very similar to you, although you've kind of forgotten it at this point. But when you're standing in his presence, it's very cold. The world around you is a bit colder, and you'll notice the foliage on the ground, the weeds and things kind of not die, but they kind of go into a hibernation. And he's very, very he's making it a huge point to show his Eladrin heritage. Maybe not to you necessarily, but just everybody else, to express that he is different than them. And he continues, and he says, yes, they're quite a fortune, but I can always, I can make an exception for a friend from the wilds, should you want one.
I would be honored to have one. I just don't know if I even at that whatever price you give me, I don't even know if I'd still be able to afford it.
Well, he'll wave his hand and he'll say well, come back if you have any idea of how much it would be, or if you blah 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 blah. He says well, I'm not particularly picky, I value experiences and things like that more than currency, though currency is what buys you room and board in this place, and more lessons. If you have anything else, an odd magical item or something, I am always in the market. So just think about it, and come back if you have any willingness to get a tattoo.
Oh man, I'm just way so tempted to give him a bean.
The beans have caused enough problems. The beans have caused enough problems. Helio will find it.
Helio.
Hey,
will
he
find
doesn't
it.
have the beans. I have the beans. And Helio's not with me as far as I know. We never found out what this copper rod is for, did we?
I
No,
have a copper rod.
you do have a
Yeah,
I have
copper.
identify.
From Vincor that Helio pilfered.
Shit, you guys have to start telling me that. I have identify.
What?
I
Yeah.
can use identify on that if you want.
Okay. I
Buy a
I-
pearl while you're out if you're doing that.
Okay. I apologize. I'm Vespa. What's your name?
He will give you a wide smile, and he'll say, I'm Haster. Haster of shoot, I have his family name on a different document. Oh no. I'll give it to you next session, don't worry. I'll put it in the notes. But yeah, he says he's Haster of insert family name here. Because we're
Okay.
wrapping up. This is basically the
Yes.
And he he'll give you like a very like formal greeting, and he will like teleport back behind the stall, and he will continue just like he'll pick up like a scroll and continue reading it, and that's where we'll call it, I think, because we're running short on time, and also because that's a good stopping point.
Yeah. I just want to tell him I may have something. I need to figure out what it is, if it's worth enough, because I want a tattoo, man.
Look, I want a tattoo.
Sorry, Lady Agatha, but I want a tattoo.
Oh boy. Don't worry.
Not worth the price of a tattoo.
Magical tattoos are one of my favorite things in Tasha's, and I'm glad that I finally get to introduce them here. And also, man, oh man, I hope that I dropped a teaser. I dropped a teaser in there. I'm hoping that we'll find it eventually. There's a teaser somewhere in that session, sprinkled within.
Oh no!
A
Please,
teaser.
I'm bad at writing out riddles.
There's a teaser
My
trailer
brain
hidden in there. Actually, there was a lot of teasers in this set. There was a lot of a lot was set up in this session. This was a very, very good session in like terms of like on my end.
Don't tell me Lady Agatha is in the Sword Mountains trying to fight this frost blue dragon thing, and it's like, I can handle it. And
There's a lot of plates spinning right now. Okay.
Wait, so out of character, is Lady A coming back, or are you like skipping a session? Are you making a new character? Like,
You don't know.
Oh.
yeah, no.
that is very rude.
It's more fun that way, right?
No.
I miss Lady Agatha.
Finch is genuinely stressed and sad. As far as she knows, she's just been abandoned by a good friend.
Well, who's to say good friends?
Wait,
back.
I don't think wait, this is recorded, so it doesn't matter. Okay.
Yes.
I wanted to remember the words that Lady Agatha said to Vesper before she went to bed, because I completely forgot and did not write that down. But this is recorded, so...
Oh yeah, it is.
Yay!
Hey, I will have to, because at midway through the session, I paused the recording very briefly because my recording software sucks. So I'll have to stitch them together very crudely, but or I might just upload them in 2 separate chunks. I don't know. Either or, they will be uploaded. They should all be good. I during the session at multiple points, my recording software loves to automatically, when I click on the window, play a snippet of audio that was recently recorded, which is so helpful when I'm trying to speak, and it goes like, it just plays a bit of my voice from like 15 minutes ago that I was saying. Yeah, it's super helpful. Love that. That's super duper good when it does that. And so yeah, it definitely is recording, and we've got a solid, how much is it at? It's at 3.5 hours on this recording, and the other recording is in my folders here. Let's find it. Jesus, I need to take some fucking meds. I am dying.
Oh, I have a question.
You have a question.
Since we've leveled up,
Yeah.
my specialty is changing the damage type of spell.
Yeah.
That's his thing. Now,
Yeah.
would this extend to, say, if I cast Animate Dead, would I be able to change the damage type of the zombies?
What do the zombies normally deal? Necrotic?
No, they deal
Bludgeoning, I believe.
bludgeoning damage, yeah.
I would
But there's
say
other spells that I have that do bludgeoning damage as something else
with
too, and I can still change it.
with a cool enough flavor addition, anything's possible. If you say that you raise zombies that come out of the ground wielding like roots as though they were daggers, I would let them deal piercing damage. It just needs a cool explanation behind it, and you're good.
Well, the reason why I have that was like for further things, like more powerful spells, like 4th level spells. There's like elementals that I'll be able to summon, and I was wondering if like would I be able to change their damage type to like psychic or necrotic or.
I'd have to get back to
The
you on
normal
that.
ones.
I'd have to get back to you on that one because I'd have to see. I'd have to do some research on my own end. I'd have to do some research, but potentially maybe.
Elio's gaining way too much power. We need to stop this.
It needs to be stopped.
Maybe I should just give all those beans to Haster. Just so that they're
You would
out of.
I'm
I wouldn't
sorry.
tell you where I gave them. I just had a really funny idea, and it was just a thing. Shady should do the recap this week.
What? What?
Yeah, I was gonna say Lady Agatha should do the recap this week because that would be entertaining.
But I wasn't there.
Exactly. Exactly. That's the point.
I guess
There's so many things I missed.
it would be a very short recap. It'd be like,
Suffer.
I got
Yep.
into a little argument with my friends, and then I went to sleep.
And then nothing.
You know, like that would be it.
I just thought it would be
Fade to
entertaining.
black.
And I was also thinking, because I was rereading some of the old recaps, because we each have our own like little way we do our recaps. And I remember someone making the comment about when we were fighting the dragon that if Lady Agatha dies, like that would make the recap really weird. So I was thinking that if she did die, that means these recaps are like in heaven, and she's like
Oh
reading these stories to like the little angel baby.
no!
Now you're just trying to get rid of her.
Lady A.
Those are my
whereabouts
2 cents.
unknown. I don't know. Well, I'll auction it off. I'll pawn it off on one of you bozos. One of you losers can do it. I'll pawn it off. I mean, like, it's not like the person that does it this session is gonna be like short on things to write about. Jesus Christ, you guys will have a novel to
A lot
write.
of stuff that happened.
Yeah, a lot, like a novel to write, a little novella. But I might see if I can't give it to Z because I think Z had the most like character moments this session. So I think that if anybody's going to do a recap, I think it should be Z. But assuming Z does not want to or is not available to, then I will just offer it to the general public, and whoever takes it, takes it.
Imagine.
Yeah.
All right.
Question.
Yes.
Should I take another level in Wizard or Bard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good question.
But I will say thank you for coming, everyone. I know that
Yay.
I know Joe.
Yeah,
you
hope
have
you
to
feel
leave.
better.
I really hope that I do too at some point. I hope that by next session I'm not like covered in mucus and snot, and that I can actually do fun things. That'd be cool. That would be super rad. And also hopefully by next session because man, this recording I'm scrolling through it. It's like it's rough because I didn't know how much it was picking up. So I would encourage you to watch this one without it pulled up because there are some spoilers that are because it shows my end, so it shows like DM stuff that you're not supposed to see.
Oh no.
So I will fix that. That will be fixed by next time. But just don't pull it up. And if you do, just very quickly make sure that I'm not on like a map screen, like pulling up a different map or something, because that could be bad. But other than that, the recording issues, what little there are left, should be ironed out by next session. But this recording is definitely usable. It sounds nice, aside from my fan, and it will be uploaded to YouTube tomorrow.
Hey.
All right. Thanks everybody. I'll see you guys next week.
Goodbye, friends.
Thanks, Shady, for just listening the entire
Yeah, I was
time.
gonna say thank you
It was
for
fun.
being patient.
I like the drama.
Oh, I think
Sorry.
we all enjoyed the drama.
I don't know when we'll meet again.
Next session, you'll meet.
Or will
will.
we?
Bump, bump.
Or yeah, I guess next session could also technically be the Goblin session, so you guys won't even be anywhere
You,
next
you
session.
put much faith in our group. Either way. Good night.
All right, bye, gang.
Bye.
Bye.